Test. Test. Test, test, test. What is going on? What is going on? What is happening? What is happening? 1 second here, and we are going to fire this thing up. And as we are getting into it here, I'm actually going to show you guys something that I'm working on for the people that have been hanging out in here, because everybody else is going to miss this part unless they catch it on the replay. So for you guys that are in here right now, this is going to be, I'm still working on it, but this is going to be the intro to my 50K video. So check this out. Let me know what you think. Before you know it, making videos is just going to be something that you do. I just recently crossed the 10,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. Thank you to the first 20,000 people that have subscribed to my channel. You just watched this channel cross over 30,000 YouTube subscribers. Thanks for all the kind words. There's a lot of people in the chat saying, congratulations on the 40,000. If making videos is something that you really want to do, the fun that you're going to have sharing yourself and your knowledge with the world is going to far outweigh the worries that you're having now. Before you know it, making videos is just going to be something that... What is going on, everybody? Woo! Nice to see you guys in here right now. What is happening? Yeah, so you like that intro? So first off, as you know, today is actually the other day was a huge day, very exciting day, and you are all the reason for that exciting day. So first off, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of the first 50,000 people to subscribe here on YouTube. I want to hop in the chat here, give a shout out to the Average Dan. What is going on, man? The Average Dan is the creator over at Creator Fundamentals. He's also giving some YouTube tips as well. Angie Atkinson, what is going on? Nice to see you. Elise Lee, what is happening? Vigard, the Nerdy Explorer, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Doug, I see you in the house. What is going on? Cutting the Caboose. What is going on? Danielle, nice to see you in here as well. Razman's Reality, what is happening? The Nick Flo Show, what is going on? That is awesome to hear. Thank you so much. Rapping Bro, Creator Insights is still on the way. My brother's in the States right now, and he's actually picking up some things that we need for it. And then once he comes back, our set is almost finished, and then we will be launching that shortly after he gets back. So I would say maybe 2 more weeks. Illest Truth, what is going on? Thank you. Hopping in the chat here. Gaming Mansion, what is going on? Juan Lopez, what is going on, man? Nice to see you in here. Beanie Draws, nice to see you as well. Yeah, an extra 10K since the 40 for sure. Intrepid Dawn, nice to see you. Joey Underwood, what is going on? So, like I said, this is watching that ticker hit that 50,000 mark was a really exciting thing for me. And if you look at the intro that I played, I'm trying to find I got my dual monitor thing set up here, and I'm trying to find myself in the frame here somewhere that makes a little bit more sense. There we go. That should be okay there. But yeah, so in that intro, right, that I just played, if you are just coming in, head down on making content. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, Danielle. No worries. Yeah, Creator Fundamentals. There he is, right there. So yeah, he just came in. So Creator Fundamentals, he's also giving YouTube tips, teaching people how to make videos, that kind of stuff as well. He is in a Facebook group that I'm in called Tube Ritual, Brian G. Johnson's group. So is Red Rocket TV. Cricket is her name. So, definitely check out both of those channels. But yeah, hey, what is going on, Jen? Nice to see you. But yeah, so at the very beginning of that intro, if you're just coming in here, You know what? I'm going to play that one more time for the people that are just coming in here because just for context for what I'm getting ready to talk about. So I'm gonna pop that up really quick just for anybody that just came in and just show this on the screen for what I'm putting together for my 50,000 subscriber milestone video that's going to be coming out tomorrow. And I'm also going to be doing like giveaways and stuff like that in there. I've got some really cool stuff worked out on some things that I'm working on, some other people that I'm involved with, that kind of stuff. But we're going to be doing some giveaways, which is going to be fun. But yeah, this is the intro just for the sake of context. Before you know it, making videos is just going to be something that you do. I just recently crossed the 10,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. Thank you to the first 20,000 people that have subscribed to my channel. You just watched this channel cross over 30,000 YouTube subscribers. Thanks for all the kind words. You know, there's a lot of people in the chat saying, you know, congratulations on the 40,000. If making videos is something that you really want to do, the fun that you're going to have sharing yourself and your knowledge with the world is going to far outweigh the worries that you're having now. Now, at the beginning of that video, the reason I wanted to play that again, the beginning of that video, and I'll polish that up a little bit. You know, I just wanted to show you that are in here, you know, right now for that, because you know, a lot of you that are in here now, you were in here on the 30,000 subscriber video. You know, when that milestone was crossed, you were here in the live stream with me there as well, you know, and right after I crossed the 40, you guys hopped in on that. You know what I mean? And it's really, really, it's massively appreciated. But one thing I want to go back to, one thing that I wanted to mention, which is why I wanted to show that video, the context, is because when I first started out here on YouTube, when I put up that first video with my face on it, because I had, before I put up that video with my face on it, I also had another channel that I just kind of experimented with and ended up getting a video over, I think it's at like 2 million views now, but a video over 1 million views, another video over 600,000 views. You know, but that channel showed me kind of the potential of what YouTube can do, but I didn't really, you know, I didn't really understand it at the time because I wasn't into YouTube. But once I started getting into YouTube and I decided that I was actually going to start creating videos, for me personally, you'll see the intro song is actually something that I made with some friends of mine years ago, but for me personally, it was a difficult decision because, you know, like a lot of creators do, I had that thing when you first start to where like, you know, what if I put up these videos and nobody likes them? What if I start thanks, Raven. I appreciate it. But you know, I was thinking, you know, what if I start this channel? What if I start putting up these videos? And I wasn't even like really taking it seriously, but I still had to overcome that hurdle of, you know, hey, I'm going to be putting my face all over the place. I'm going to be putting my face out there, and you know, I might get ridicule for that, and you know, I might get people that are, you know, that are like, hey, you know, what are you making videos for? And hey, YouTube is for kids. What are you doing on YouTube and stuff like that? So, you know, for me, that was a big hurdle that I personally had to overcome in order to say, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna just start putting videos out there. You know, just start getting some videos up online, start trying to grow an email list, which was the original, you know, thing for that. Start trying to grow an email list, start trying to, you know, share with people things that I have learned from the freelancing world, which was the original direction that I was going with the channel. But Creator Fundamentals made a video recently about, you know, that we all start at zero, and that's the truth. You know, we all start in that place. And with me, you know, the reason that I put that in the beginning of my video, that, you know, for that 50,000 subscriber video, is because, you know, like, to actually get started, right? To actually get started and to reach where I am now, you know, it took that, you know, getting over that fear. You know, it took getting over the hurdle of wondering what other people are going to think. And instead, I decided to go for it. And because of that, because I got started, because I said, hey, you know what, even though I might not be putting up videos every week, because I didn't, at the time when I first started that, I didn't know that was something that was kind of required. So I said, you know, instead of, you know, trying to put up videos every single week, I'm just going to start, you know, putting up videos. And that's what I did. And then through, different transitions that have happened over the course of me doing YouTube, it has, it has gotten to where it is now. But if I would have never gotten started on the path, and if I would have let that fear hold me back, then that would have been something that, I would never, have been in contact with, a lot of the people that are in the chat, via the videos here, via the chat, or via on Facebook or Skype or wherever we connect. YouTube personally has kind of revolutionized my life in a lot of different ways. And I'm actually going to make a video about that as well, because a lot of things happen like when people start viewing your videos en masse. And one of those things, thanks, Jen, I appreciate it. And one of those things that happen is let's see here, timed out. Okay. Well, one of the things that happen is it kind of amplifies your self-awareness, right? Because, we all have our the way that we think about ourselves, and we all have these things that we are aware of about ourselves. But what happens when you start having a lot of people view your content is, especially if you're a creator that puts your face on the video and you kind of show a little bit of insight into what it is that you're doing. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. But your self-awareness gets put on steroids, because people will start saying things to you and you're like, wow, I never even really noticed that. Not hating on you, but people will observe things about you that you didn't really realize. You know what I mean? Like my doing thing, right? For me, I thought I said doing like everybody else, but apparently I don't, right? And because of that, it's become a thing, right? So for the self-awareness part of it, that's just one aspect of it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but it really puts your self-awareness on high alert, to where you're constantly in your head, monitoring what's going on, even out in the real world. It kind of helps you tune in to yourself a lot. I mean, I have a lot of sales experience, so I was kind of doing that. You're kind of forced to do that in the sales world too, because you always want to, whatever it is that you're saying, you're trying to monitor it as it's coming out. But outside of just what it is that you're saying, like all aspects of yourself, you really start paying strong attention, because people start bringing things to your attention that you might have been previously overlooking. So, I can't imagine, somebody that has, like 1 million subscribers on their channels, or, like Casey Neistat, for example. I can't even imagine the awareness, the self-awareness that has come from his YouTube channel. But enough about me, enough what's going on with me. So let's get into some Q&A. I'm going to hop in the comments here really quick, and let's see, give some shout-outs, give some what's up, and let's see what's going on there. Yeah, the Q&A hasn't started yet. We're getting on that right here in a second, right after I hop into the chat here. I'm working on a new setup. I've got my monitor over here. I've got a new monitor over here, so that I can kind of run my OBS over on this monitor. And this one here is basically just kind of here for right now, just because my camera's over here, so I like to be looking this way instead of looking over here and then turning to look at the camera. So let's see here. Best free software. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, Nam. I always say that wrong. I apologize, but yeah, thanks. I have a bunch of these shirts. They sell them at the markets here in Thailand, and they're super cheap. This shirt is like, let's see here, US dollar equivalent. I'm looking at like $6 for this shirt, and it's literally like the fabric that it's made out of. I mean, it's cotton, but the way they string it up or whatever, it's the most comfortable shirt I've ever worn. So I've got a big stack of these shirts in a bunch of different colors. I've got a bunch of red ones. But I just went and got a few more also. This is actually one of the newer ones, actually. But yeah, thanks for the compliments on the shirt. Let's see here. Hi, please review my gaming channel. We will get there here in a little bit. How to put the floating thing on the last video that if you go to sub and next vid, that is an end screen on YouTube. Basically, all you do is on your actual video page, as long as your channel's verified, then you just go to at the top of the list there, you're going to get a little navigation, and that navigation is going to tell you, you'll just see a little thing that says end screens and annotations. You want to click on that, and then you can go in there and put those. If you're on a phone, then you're going to be a little bit more limited on what you can do, but on a desktop, on a computer, that's how you do it. Let's see here. Stroke TV, what is going on? I started my YouTube channel. I didn't actually take it seriously, but I started my YouTube channel about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. It was in September of 2015, I believe, is when I started the channel. And it, like I said, at the time, when I first started it, I was just kind of putting up some stuff. And then I started taking YouTube seriously after another YouTube creator, Daryl Eves, that I'm sure you guys are familiar with. Daryl reached out to me, and because he saw the content that I was making, and he thought because of my, the way that I present to the camera and things like that, that I would have better success on another type of channel, and that was right around his 100,000 subscriber milestone. And at somebody that was coming in, I think I might have had 1,000 subscribers at the time or something. And for somebody that's coming in, you see somebody with 100,000 subscribers, and you think like, oh my God, they have a ton of subscribers, and all of that. And he reached out and he was like, hey, because of how you present, I think you might do better off on another type of channel. Well, let me back that up a little bit. He actually mentioned me in a Facebook group, because we were both in a Facebook group together, and I actually submitted a video to his thing. You know what? I'm actually going to play this right here. And oops. That wasn't good. Never type in YouTuber.com, by the way. I just got a virus threat. But anyway, I'm actually going to try to pull this video up here. Maybe I'll show that in my next video. I won't do it now. Maybe I'll show it my next video or my 100K video. But basically what it was is at his 100,000 subscriber mark, he put out a call to people to, hey, submit your content, if you want to be featured in a video or whatever. And I did that, and he saw that as well, and he was impressed by it. And he contacted me, was like, hey, you should try another channel. So I said, yeah, sure, whatever, because I wasn't taking my channel seriously at the time anyway. And then when I started that other channel, it started doing good. It's still gaining more subscribers per month than a lot of channels that are out there. So I think I'm like 7,500 subscribers on that channel or something like that. But I haven't updated it in like a year, and because the content is so solid on that channel, and the plan was so good for that channel, it's still generating over 300 and something subscribers per month. But kind of the big overview with what's going on with that channel is I had to take a break because I burned myself out, which was a huge mistake. And to be honest with you, Daryl even told me that. Daryl said, hey, whatever schedule that you decide to do for your channel, make sure that it's something that you can sustain long term, because YouTube is a long term thing. The same stuff that I tell people now, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then I just went for it and went hard, and was uploading more content that I should have, and I burned out. And that's pretty much what happened with that channel. But during the process of that channel, because at the time I wasn't into the whole YouTube teaching thing, right? Like, I was sharing how to make videos and how to do stuff on the internet, how to come up with content ideas, but it wasn't YouTube specific, because that wasn't my knowledge set at the time. I was sharing what I knew about, right? Like, I was sharing, hey, this is the information that I know. So, based on my personal experience in life. So I'm going to share that information. And I had no plans of doing, like YouTube specific videos at the time. But what happened is when I went to that other channel, I learned so much. And I got so obsessed with YouTube that during the process of that channel, by the time I had burned out, I knew that I still wanted to keep doing YouTube. It just wasn't that channel at the time. I had to make some changes first. So what I did is, because I had learned so much over there, and I knew the information, is I came back here and I started uploading content here on a regular basis instead. And I actually had a little of a struggle, because I'd put so much work into that channel. I think I've got like 69 or 70 videos over there, which isn't really a lot, in the scheme of things, but which is also, if you look at the subscriber count too, on the amount of videos that I left it, that channel is actually doing really well in retrospect. But basically I said, hey, I can make, a bunch of videos on this channel, in the amount of time that it takes me to do one video over on that channel. So I'm just going to come back over to this channel and and basically start sharing what it is that I had learned from Daryl and from, studying YouTube on, to get the other channel rolling. So that kind of brought me back over to here. And then from there, I just kept, digging deeper and deeper and deeper into YouTube and testing stuff and all of that in order to get to, in order to get things to where they are now. So I don't even know where I was going with that. I was just kind of telling a backstory, I guess. I started this answering something, but I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. But the moral of the story, we'll take it back to this. The moral of the story is you don't know what your path is going to be, but it's important that you start and that you start walking. Oh snaps! Oh, there we go. That you remove. There we go. All right, thank you, Nerdy Explorer. But yeah, it's just important that you start your path and that you start walking your path, because especially with YouTube, right? Like, you never know where things are going to lead you. Like, if you look into success stories of things that have happened on YouTube, because people have YouTube channels, it's crazy the things that happen, because of YouTube. And I personally too, YouTube has changed a bunch of different aspects of my life, and that's awesome. But one thing that I would like to do is eventually, because I'm just talking to an editor now that is going to help me start editing more content. And one thing that I would like to do is I would like to basically get things to where I can actually start on that other channel as well, so that I can basically run that channel. And yeah, it's this new monitor, Greg. Here, hold on. Let's try that. There we go. So that I can basically, so I can start doing that channel as well again, because I love the content over there. It's just the amount of personal time that it takes, right? So basically with this channel, the way that I've been able to, build everything up is basically in a roundabout kind of way going to help me get back to that channel eventually, maybe, if I decide to, hop back on there. But I love the content over there. It's awesome. But yeah, like the video that I submitted to Daryl, like that video was, it was a, like, hey, if I, this is what I learned from you on YouTube, and, this is the type of thing that I would like to accomplish with my YouTube channel. And that was another disconnect with the other channel is, with my All Our Questions channel, with that one, it was sharing knowledge, which is cool, but I wasn't actually like helping people with anything. And, when I came back here, I know that the information that I share on this channel is a lot more helpful to, like the feedback that I get from you is, hey, thanks. Hey, I went from this many subscribers to this many subscribers, things like that. The name of the old channel, Juan, is All Our Questions. Here, I'll actually put it in the chat here for anybody that wants to check it out. You can subscribe too in the event that I go back over there and start uploading there. So yeah, that's that. And another channel that I'm working on right now while I'm typing this stuff in here, with my brother, I'll put this in the chat as well. It's also going to be stuff to help out content creators, because if you can't tell, I'm big on this helping people thing. So make sure that you subscribe to that channel as well, because like here, I talk more about like YouTube growth and things like that. On the other channel, there's going to be that stuff as well, but it's also going to be more about, how to make content, instead of, like basically how to make content that people actually care about and that people want to watch, and how to actually craft things in order to build a following and that sort of stuff. So make sure you subscribe to that last one at least, but you can check out the other one. Okay. So now enough about me, and I mean at this time, we are going to get into some Q&A. So if you are just coming into this chat, basically we are doing a 50,000 subscriber celebration, high five, fist bump to every single one of you that have been subscribed for any amount of time. If you subscribe during this stream, welcome aboard. I thank you. And for everybody else that has been a subscriber before, I thank you as well. It's how can I say it? It's interesting to think, right? Like when you first start out on the journey, right? Like, it's really interesting to think, like, you know, even a year ago, you know, like I put on like 40,000, you know, subscribers, in a year, right? So it's interesting to think, or I mean, actually 45,000 this year because April was 2,000, so May, June, so yeah, give or take, you know, 45,000 in a year. So, hey, thanks, Ann, I appreciate it. So, you know, it's just crazy to see sometimes, you know, the speed. And if you just keep sticking in there and you keep making content and you keep trying to figure it out, that, you know, once you get it figured out, I mean, you can, you know, you can really take off in your niche, you know, like as an example, like as of today, and I'm not going to say any names because, you know, I try not to do that, but as of today, if you go to my Social Blade right now, I have 10,000 here. I'm actually going to pull this up on the screen. Hold on. Well, no, I won't because I don't want to spend too much time on it. But right now, like in the last month, I've gained 10,782 subscribers, right? So that is outpacing, you know, some other people that are in my niche. And, you know, YouTube has ups and downs, you know, and that's cool. But, you know, the cool thing about that is, and the reason that I'm saying it, I'm not saying that I'm better because, like I said, YouTube has ups and downs, and the only reason that I am outpacing them is just because I have a few well-placed videos that, you know, that are generating more traffic, which, you know, because my video structure helps me generate more subscribers and so on. But the reason I'm saying that is because when I first started the channel, right, when I had, you know, 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, you know, like where, you know, where a lot of you are right now. You know, when I had that, you know, I couldn't have thought at the time that this milestone would have come as fast as it did. You know, I mean, I had my plan, I've been following my plan and things like that, but because YouTube is algorithm based, I just didn't know it was going to happen as fast as it actually happened, which is pretty awesome. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure right now I'm at like 10,000 some change, 10,782 for the month. But, you know, of course, because YouTube is, you know, an algorithm, of course, you know, that is going to drop, and then it'll come back up and be higher, and then it's going to drop and then come back up and be higher because that's just how it works here on the platform. So now we're going to get into the question and answer portion of this, and then we will go from there into reviews and just kind of, you know, bounce back and forth. And yeah, creator fundamentals, you know, Dan made a good point. He says, you know, head down, push forward, and be patient. Absolutely. You know, that's what you have to do. You have to, you know, you basically just have to, you know, like Brian G. Johnson says, you know, you have to stake your claim, and then you just have to go for it. You know, hey, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is what I'm going to do. And then you just go for it. Okay, so let's get some of these questions going here. So here, please make a video on how to start from 0 subs and 0 views because I've been making quality content with proper tags and well-made thumbnails, and no one found my channel. I see that you're doing gaming videos, so if you're doing gaming content, you know, just as a heads up, that's a hard one to break into right out of the gate. But, you know, I just pulled your channel up, and you are definitely not, yeah, like I'm, like, yeah, you need to watch a lot of videos on you know, on things to do, and this is for game defenders. You need to watch a lot of videos on how to actually optimize your channel and get that visual authority when somebody lands on your channel, and how to properly SEO your videos as well. How to make an intro. If you have Sony Vegas, if you have Adobe Premiere, if you have a lot of the different editing softwares, you can definitely make an intro from using those. You know, you can keyframe and that sort of thing in order to actually have stuff moving around if you want. Most likely you're going to be stuck to a 2D intro in those cases. I know Sony Vegas does do some 3D stuff, so does Premiere, I believe. But it's not that, you know, like crazy After Effects looking stuff that I know a lot of people go for. But in addition to that, if you have a phone, you can just do like text style intros or segues inside of Legend. If you're creative, you know, you can do real life intros, right? To where it's like, hey, you know, this is, you know, like, you know, this is me standing on the side of the road holding an intro that I have somebody drive up to, and then they, you know, get out of the car and then they run up to it and zoom in, or, you know, something like that, to where it is, you know, something that you could play really fast at the beginning of your video, or not the beginning after you do your hook, but you know, you could play that in your video and actually use a real life thing as an intro as well. It doesn't always have to be graphic based. and it's free that way instead of actually having to pay for anything outside of software. Niam, you know what? I need to ask you how to say that. Creates. Why did I move to Thailand? I came here on vacation to visit my brother, actually, because he was here, and I fell in love with the lifestyle right out of the gate, and that was it. You know, like, you know, there's certain things that happen in your life that you know, hey, this is going to be a pivotal moment, and that was one of those times. Let's see here. What is the feed that keeps popping up from the side? Is it something you did in OBS? Where is it coming from? Yeah, I have two things that I'm doing right here. I have the subscribe option that pops up on the screen. That comes from streamlabs.com. Basically, they have a thing. You can also do the chat stuff with them as well. All of this stuff that's happening, you can do that there as well. For the tweet notifications, so basically, like, what happens is if you start tweeting this out, which you should, because later when I start doing channel reviews, I also go into the tweets and I look for you know, people that have supported the live stream to, you know, to pull those from. But definitely start tweeting those out, and remember to give this video a thumbs up too, by the way. But anyway, for the actual tweet notifications, so like when you tweet, your tweet actually comes up on the screen right here. When that happens, that's actually done through a service. Yeah, just like that. Thank you. When that happens, that comes up through a service called Tweet Alerts. And both of those are free services, and they are, like, dead simple to set up. Really, really easy to set up. So they've worked great for me. Like, typically in services like this, because basically it goes through their APIs and all that stuff. So typically what happens with services like this is you have to reset everything so that it kind of readjusts it for each live stream. But on both of those, I just have to turn on my OBS and everything is still in place. It's still pulling all the same information, and it works like a charm. I absolutely love both of those services. Okay, so let's see here. Another question. Okay, yeah, got that one. How to make an intro. Got that one. Let's see here. I've uploaded almost 35 videos, but I can't reach 1,000 views for monetization. That means that you need to work on your SEO. That means you need to work on your sharing. And it also means that, you know, you don't, like, 10,000 views for the monetization. You should be more focused on the 10,000 views than you should the monetization. I mean, you know, of course you want to make money from your channel eventually, but, you know, outside of that, you know, the amount of money that you're going to make off of, you know, 11,000 views is going to be so small that regardless of the country that you're in, it adds up to pretty much hardly anything. You know, you have to start getting, you know, a decent amount of views in order for it to really start adding up. Like on my AdSense, right? With what I'm doing, you know, like I'm under $1,000, and let's see here, last month I had 381,000 views. Right, just for a reference, there over 300, almost over 381, almost 382,000 views last month, and my AdSense is still under $1,000. So, you know, just as a reference, it's really important that, you know, if you're trying to get that 10,000 just for the sake of monetization, focus on making good content. It's a lot more important. It's going to take you a lot further in the long run than just trying to get that 10,000 views so that you can monetize your channel, because the amount of money is almost non-existent once you know, unless you start getting into bigger numbers. Mega Vlogs TV, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. Garage Movie Reviews says, hey, Nick Nimmin, how do I get more than 24 hours in the day so I have more to devote to my channel? Well, instead of working on YouTube, you know, maybe you could go for like a time machine. You know, and once you get that time machine worked out, you know, get in touch, because I would also like to, you know, to work on that with you. You know, if you if you're making reviews in your garage, start working on a time machine. That's a great way to do it. Oh, Gord is in the house. Oh yeah, what is going on, Gord? Nice to see you in here. Let's see here. Alper Ince asks, hey, Nick, according to you, when is the best time to start affiliate marketing for a new YouTube channel? That depends on your actual goals for your channel and what it is that you're trying to accomplish for your channel. I have friends with YouTube channels that are specifically set up for the sake of generating income and for the sake of doing affiliate marketing. And from video one, they started doing affiliate marketing on their channel. One of my friends, actually, he has one video where he promotes a higher-end product, and just that one video has made him over $200,000. So, yeah, I mean, it was over the course of, like 3 years, that one video. But, you know, just to say, though, that one video has made him over $200,000 for the specific thing that he was promoting in the specific niche that he was knowledgeable about. Let's see here. Contact Doctor Who. I need help with getting subs and views there. Alex Coffer. Tons of videos on my channel page, my friend. Can help you definitely get that together. AliX, what is going on? Nice to see you. It's very dank. Talk to you later. Costume Cinematographer. Nice to see you in here. Let's see here. Hey, Nick, from where can I get CSS for chat like yours for OBS? There is two ways you can do it. One is you can just go straight through streamlabs.com. Double R Restorations, what's going on? Another place that you can do it is for OBS. If you Google for, let's see here, you know, you might be better off, let's see here. No, that's not it either. Okay, yeah, what you want to look for is something along the lines of a CSS generator for OBS. So Google that, and then you'll be able to hunt something down. But the easy way to do it, really, is to hop onto, like, streamlabs.com or something like that and just use what they have. That's, like, a really, really easy way to do it. A $20 mic is good for a YouTuber. Depending on the type of content you make, of course, you can get a lavalier mic for $20, and it'll definitely do the trick. Like depending on the type of content you make, you know, that's kind of what everything is dependent on. Depending on the type of content that you make, you can get a lavalier mic, and instead of having your camera over there and having your mic over there with your camera, if you can get a lavalier that you can attach to your camera and to where it's close to you, because that's the whole idea. You want to get your microphone close to you so that it can pick up more. I mean, as you can see, I'm all up on this thing, and the reason for that is because, you know, if I'm way back here, then everything's going to sound weird. You're going to get ambient reflections from all around the room. I actually just posted a tip on that. It's actually a video version on my Patreon page. So, or no, I haven't uploaded it yet. So I'll be uploading that actually tonight. But there's a real easy way that you can get around that. I'll actually tell you now. Basically, if you're getting a lot of sound reflections in your room, it's super ghetto, so to speak. But one thing that you can do is you can just take blankets, regular blankets from around your house, and you can just lay those on the floor. You can wrap it, you know, like around your tripod or whatever, so you catch the sound there as well. And basically, what happens there, if you have all of these hard surfaces, you know, your desk, your walls, things like that, then when you lay the blankets down, then it absorbs the sounds when the sound hits it. And because of that, you don't get that sound, you know, that reverby sound bouncing all over the room when you're trying to record. But back to the original question, yes, a $20 mic is definitely good to get started on YouTube. And to get started, I mean, you know, just going with your phone, just with whatever you have, holding it at arm's length or, you know, as close as you can in order to actually get it up there, you know, that'll do the trick too to actually get you started. Let's see here. Yeah, Chicky Pie does that. Yeah, Elise Lee. Yeah, she does. Yeah, Chicky Pie definitely uses blankets to dampen the sound around her place as well. So yeah, that's yeah, absolutely. How can you increase more subs? The way that you increase more subs is by making content that your actual target audience, because your subscribers are the people, like, basically you have to sit down and you have to define, okay, who is it that I'm actually making videos for? Like, if your goal is to get subscribers, you have to say, okay, who is it that I'm making videos for? What type of content can I make in order to basically put myself in front of them? And then once I'm in front of them, how can I structure my videos, or what can I do in order to convert the people that are watching my videos into subscribers? So there's some science behind that, but that's kind of the basic version for you. The very first thing you have to figure out is who it is that you're trying to get, and then you basically communicate with them in the language that they understand based on their specific interests and the things that they are into. Let's see here. Lauhi Custom Design says it's official. Subs don't matter, says Roberto Blake. Subs don't matter if you're not focused on subscribers. And, just because you have a lot of subscribers doesn't mean you're going to have a lot of additional success on your channel if you're not keeping it up, right? Like, views are the best for ad revenue. Views are the best for exposure. Subscribers do matter for the sake of, helping get your videos off of the ground. So what happens is, if you're not trying to build an actual community, but you're trying to get a lot of views, right? Like, for me, the community is the most important aspect. But if you're trying to get views, then subscribers are also very important, because basically what happens is when you publish a brand new video, those subscribers flood in to watch that video. And then when they do that, then that basically gets your watch time started on your video, and that will help you rank videos almost instantly after you publish your videos. Something I want to share with you, and this is also coming out in a future video. I'm going to pull it up on my phone here. But I might have mentioned this in another live stream as well, but it's just a quote from one of the YouTube training things. But they basically say, I might have actually mentioned this in another live stream, in the last one, but if I have or if I haven't, it's important that, just in case you didn't catch it, it's important that you hear it now. They say, and I quote, "Instead of worrying about what the algorithm likes," right? And this is part of what I lean on for, what has created a good situation for me here on YouTube. Instead of worrying about what the algorithm likes, it's better to focus on what your audience likes instead, which kind of backs it up to what I was saying a minute ago about, knowing who it is that you're making videos for. And if you do that and people watch, right? There's the kicker. If you do that and people watch, right, which basically says, hey, this is still falling back on watch time. But if you focus on what your audience likes and they watch, the algorithm will follow, right? So basically what that's saying, and that's right from the horse's mouth, right from YouTube, what that's saying is that if you focus on making content that speaks to your target audience, whatever type of content it is you make, whatever your target audience happens to be, if you focus on making that kind of content, then the algorithm will follow along, because you're getting that watch time, because they're jump starting your videos and things like that. So, subscribers do matter for that reason. But, if I think what Roberto is trying to say, and I'm not putting words in his mouth because I don't know, the context of him saying that, but I think what he was trying to say probably is that it's more important that you focus on the content that you're making, and the value that you're bringing, instead of focusing solely on your subscriber count. Okay, let's see here. Now, after that rant, let's see here. Okay, yeah, Dan says that what Roberto Blake means is that small YouTubers should not be worried about them. Much more important things to focus on. Yeah. And he also mentions that, it's important to... Hey, speaking of Roberto Blake, man, you know what? I meant to put it in the description of this video, and I forgot. So, man, I don't know how to do this. Maybe I'll mention it in my next video. But he just did it's like a 2.5 hour long interview with Professor Nez, which Professor Nez will probably be hopping in this chat sometime soon, depending on, when he gets up. But it was like a 2.5 hour long interview, 2.5 hours, I can't remember. But it just went up the other day, and it's an interview with Roberto, and Roberto is just dropping knowledge like, that video is just soaked in value. So I'll have to put a link to it somewhere, maybe on my Twitter. I'll put a link to it on my Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, make sure that you go to Twitter/Nick Nimmin, or @NickNimmin, and that is where you'll find me on Twitter. And then later, either tonight after the stream or tomorrow, I'll put a link to that interview so you can check it out. Tons and tons and tons of value in that interview. Okay, anyone know why some comments in this live stream are in italics? Just curious, like George. I'm not seeing italics in my end, with the exception of stuff that is banned. Let's see here. I upload 7 days a week. Will dropping to 5 consistent days a week hurt my channel? Thanks. Here's the thing. If you're uploading 7 days a week right now, you will most likely see a drop. But that drop, don't say, well, you know, my channel's dying now because I'm only uploading 5 days a week. That's not the case. What's going to happen most likely, you know, if you're having consistent growth right now and you get, you know, a general, you know, roundabout range of views that you can expect from your videos and things like that, what can happen is when you reduce your upload schedule, then in most cases you'll see a lull, or you'll see a drop. Not a huge drop, but you'll see a drop in your stats. And don't think of it like your channel's dying. Just think of it as it's kind of compensating for what it is that you're putting into it, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's see here. Sir, I only have a trial version of KineMaster to edit videos, but it makes some quality problem. What to do? Find another video editor to use, or get the paid version of KineMaster. Let's see here. AliX Fishing says subscribers matter. Simple as that. Let's see here. Hey, my YouTube friends, what is up, life and tech? Flash in your pan. What is going on? Nice to see you. Can you make a how-to video on using an audio mixer with OBS? Absolutely, I can. And that's actually going to be some of the content that we're putting on the new channel, on the Creator Insights channel. I dropped a link to that earlier. There's also a link to it down in the description, but make sure you subscribe. But yeah, we're that's some of the stuff that we're showing over there is the actual technical side of setting up all of this stuff for, like, regardless of what type of content it is that you make, because we're literally building it's going to look essentially like a radio show is kind of the look that we're going for. We're having a whole set built for it. It's going to be wicked. But, you know, because of that, because we're doing that for our live streams and for our interviews, but because of that, we're going to be recording tons of stuff while we're going through the setup process of getting all of that together. And that will be one of those things because we have our PCI cards that we had to get to pull in certain cameras. We got 3 of these mics for that we're going to be running through a mixer as well, and 3 or 4, 4 of these mics that we're going to be running through a mixer, and then, you know, connecting all of that into OBS and possibly Wirecast, depending on the angle that we end up going, but we'll probably start it out on OBS. Let's see here. Let me scroll down here. Inappropriate K-pop mom, what is going on? Nice to see you. Let me pull something up here real quick. Okay, all right. We got 153 people in the house. What is going on? High five. Nice. If you haven't yet, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, just to let me know that you're enjoying yourself in the stream. Zadok DK, Casper in the house. What is going on? Nice to see you. Let's see here. Red Rocket, can you review my channel? Can you see if my channel is good or no? I'm going to go ahead and put that in timeout. Let's see here. Nice. How does multi-streaming work? If you mean like multicasting to where you are streaming, like I don't know which angle you're talking about. Like if you're talking about setting up different cameras and things like that, you can do that inside of OBS super easy. You just plug in to whatever USB ports that you have. Like as an example, this right here is a Logitech. Yeah, this right here is a Logitech C922. This right here is also a Logitech C922. And how that would work is basically I would USB this into another USB port on my computer, and then I can just switch it inside of OBS to give me a different angle. If you mean like multicasting to different platforms, there's services that you can use for that. I have in my notes here, because on a podcast that I'm doing with Owen Video, it's called the Business of Video Podcast. We just interviewed John Tripp recently, who is a professional live stream producer. And he actually, I'm looking through my notes here to see if I can give you a recommendation. He actually recommended a specific service that will push your stuff out to multiple platforms. So basically, you could run it through OBS. You push one stream to this service, and then the service casts it for you. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So I don't have it. I don't have it available right now. I'm not sure where it is in my notes, but yeah. So basically, I would just Google around for like multicast service or something like that, and see if you can find it. Some. Okay, hey Justin Bennett, what is going on? Nice to see you. Let's see here. Antonio Capture, should I use caps in my title or common? I personally don't think so. Like if you're, like I'll do like a live now or something like that in mine sometimes. And but outside of that, personally, if somebody has like an all caps title or something like that, I just find it turns me off personally. But I know people respond to that, but that's just something, that I personally don't like, and I won't click on videos sometimes because they're using all caps. But on the flip side of that, other people might click on them more. I haven't personally ran any tests on using caps versus not using caps. But experiment with it. Make some videos with all caps, make some videos not with all caps. And if that's something that you're wanting to do, and see, if you find a better, if you find a solution to that question. Michael G, what video editing software do I recommend? I recommend Sony Vegas. I recommend Adobe Premiere. Those are two pieces of software that will do pretty much anything that you want without limitation. The reason that I recommend two is because I actually learned on Sony Vegas, and Sony Vegas is awesome. I'm just like stupid fast inside of Sony Vegas, but the reason that I'm slowly transitioning into Adobe Premiere is because I love Adobe products in general, and I am literally like I'm an expert in Photoshop. I also use Adobe Audition, and because of those, I'm wanting to transition more into Premiere because all of those pieces of software play well together, and it kind of makes it an easier workflow. Let's see here. Simple Device Advice says he did. Let's see here. Can you please let me know what I'm doing wrong? I spend around 5 to 7 hours on videos, thumbnails every day. I use the right tags and have good descriptions. Yeah, that will be one for the review portion of this. But one really quick tip that I can tell you is that you definitely... okay, you just got started a month ago. Hang in there. Hang in there, man. You're just getting started. Let's see here. Markey, let's see here. Okay, thanks. Please read my channel. We're getting to the reviews here in a little bit. How can I change my name on YouTube? In order to change your name on YouTube, you have to go into Google+. If you go into your account settings, and then you go under Advanced, I believe it is, then you'll see an option there for your actual name. If you click on your name there, then you'll get an option to go into Google Plus and change it. Keep in mind that they limit the amount of times that you can change your name. If you have an actual custom URL and you're trying to change your custom URL, in most cases you cannot, but some cases you can. So if you're wanting to change your custom URL, what I would recommend is definitely get the URL for the name, for the actual like .com, for the name that you're wanting to change it to. Put something on that website, and then submit something to YouTube support saying, hey, I'm wanting to change my custom URL so it matches my brand, and all of that kind of stuff. And sometimes that actually works. Okay, let's see here. How do you upgrade your YouTube equipment? A good way to upgrade your YouTube equipment is to hop on Amazon or something, start reading reviews, hop on YouTube, start going through reviews and seeing exactly what it is that you need in order to make the content that you make, save up money, and then go and get that YouTube equipment. And if you're a kid, of course, you can ask your parents for that cash, and they'll probably say no, unless you have really cool parents. And they'll probably say no. Zadis, best YouTube partnership for 50,000 views a month. Greetings from Croatia. There's a YouTube partnership is not going to just deliver you 50,000 views per month. That's not how like the MCNs. If that's the reference that you're making, that's not what it is. Heartkey Creations asks, my page has been active for 4 weeks. How's it looking, Nick? I'll pull it up right now. And Heartkey Creations is in my Patreon inner circle. So because of that, she asks a question, and I am jumping to answer it. Let me pull you up on screen here real quick. I like the artwork. I would definitely make sure that, and this is, I'm not going into the review section yet, but I'm just taking care of this for her just in case she doesn't have the time to actually stay in the stream. But yeah, with your channel art here, this looks cool. I would definitely make sure that you fill it all the way to the edges so it looks a little bit more complete. And I would put some type of text on here, making it specific and clear that you are doing art videos. So that basically when somebody lands on this, because like what you're doing up here with actually putting your art in the header, that's cool. But for somebody that lands on your page that's never been exposed to your content before, you know, like for all they know that you could have pulled this from the internet somewhere, or a stock image somewhere, or something like that, instead of it being something that you're teaching or something that you're showing. So what I would do is I would definitely make sure that you put some text up here that actually tells the type of content that you're making. Same thing with your thumbnails. I would definitely make sure that you're spending some time getting your thumbnails together as well. It looks like you're not using the custom thumbnail feature because of what's going on with the black bars here. So you definitely want to make sure that you are using the custom thumbnail feature. But the Zoom or the Patreon meetings, just so you know, those are going to start happening here this coming week. So I just wanted to give people time to get in there. So that's kind of been my delay. But those are going to start happening this time next week. So, or not this time next week, but this coming week. So we should connect there as well, and I can go through that a lot more thorough detail for you. But that's what I would start with, though. I would put the text in your header, and I would definitely work on your custom thumbs. Make sure that you're adding some type of branding element to your custom thumbs as well, so that your audience can identify that it's your content. Let's see here. Okay, so I am going to, let's see, I finally posted my first face-to-face video, and it's in huge part because of you, Nick. Thank you for always showing up and inspiring me. That is awesome to hear, Yuli. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking action more than anything, because, you know, a lot of people will say, hey, you know, I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, hey, I want to make these types of videos or whatever, but they never actually get started. I love your channel art, by the way. But they never actually get started in making the content. So, you know, hats off to you for taking that first step. You know what I mean? For overcoming that fear of, you know, of actually being in the video and going for it. High five to you and fist bump. You know, that's one of the things that I mentioned earlier in the stream before you came in here was, you know, one of my things when I was first getting started as well was overcoming that. You know, because I had that, you know, what if people are going to say this? What if people say that? And now, you know, as you can see, because, you know, we just crossed 50,000 subscribers. So as you can see, it's worked out. You know what I mean? So keep doing your thing. Keep taking action, and it will work out. I love your channel art, by the way. Let's see here. Nick, can you talk more about YouTube's algorithm? I could talk all day about YouTube's algorithm. But like I said before, you know, like one thing that's really important, and one thing that I think has helped me, you know, with my subscriber base, and one thing that's helped me with my growth. I mean, of course, I'm ranking videos. Of course, when I have a video that does well, I try to make similar videos like it, you know, things like that and other stuff. But in addition to that, what I was saying earlier about, you know, YouTube specifically says, they say basically instead of worrying about what the algorithm likes, worry about what your audience likes, right? And then if your audience watches that content, then the algorithm will follow. And that's something that I've put a really strong focus on here on my channel, is making the stuff that you want to see. You know, like, you don't care. I mean, let's be realistic. You know, in most cases, maybe you in the live stream, you know, maybe you care a little bit more than, you know, just a regular viewer on the channel. You know, somebody that just runs across the content or whatever. But, you know, like, you want me to help you do stuff on YouTube. You don't care about, you know, like, in most cases, you don't care. Like, if, let me do it this way. If I started putting vlogs up on my channel about, hey, you know, this is me riding an elephant in Thailand. Hey, this is me at the coffee shop. You know, hey, this is me doing this and doing that. You know, a lot of you would leave, because that's not what you're here for, right? You're here for the sake of, you know, because I share information about how to do stuff here on YouTube. And because of that, like I know my audience, they're YouTube creators, YouTube specific on this channel, specifically YouTube content creators. That's who I am. That's who I'm trying to put myself in front of. And because of that, I've focused solely on, interacting with everybody. I focused on, constantly providing content. Like, seriously, there's a lot of content on my channel that a lot of people put behind paywalls, right? There's a lot of content that people will say, or there's a lot of content on my channel that people have told me, hey, why are you putting that out there, man? You should be you should put that kind of stuff in courses and that kind of stuff. Which I have a course on the way, but that course, it's going to share information, but more than anything, it's actually going to organize the information so that it's an actual process that you go through, instead of going and trying to find different things at different times about what you should do. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but a lot of the information, I've focused on basically just soaking you with valuable information on things that you can do to improve here on YouTube, like legitimate, like, hey, I've tested this works, try it for yourself and see if you get the same result out of it. And because of that, the content that I make is a good fit for you, and because of that, you keep coming back every time I upload a video, because it's the content that is helping you with your channel. So that's why it's important to make content for whoever it is. If you are a blogger, that's cool. Just figure out who it is that you're trying to make content for, who it is that you're trying to put your content in front of, and kind of angle your vlogs towards that demographic. Thanks for all the information you provided us. I really appreciate your hard work and opening my mind to ideas and options. Cotton Grease, my pleasure. Thank you very much for the super chat. Idea of the day says, just another quick thank you. Great advice isn't easy to find, and it's even harder to find people who listen to and personally respond to people. Yeah, that's another thing as well, as far as, doing what your audience likes and then the algorithm following is, that's another thing is, even though nowadays as comments are coming in faster and faster and faster, it's really difficult to stay, to answer every single comment. But I try to go in and answer comments as much as humanly possible. When my videos are first uploaded, I'll go in and I'll answer comments for the first hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on when I'm getting tired, because I upload them for the opposite time zone for what I'm in. So I'll answer comments until I get tired, and then when I wake up, I'll go to Starbucks, I'll hop on my phone, and I'll start answering comments again. Because for me, the community aspect of all of this is where the real fulfillment comes for me, because when like as an example, right? Cotton Grease here says, thanks for the information you provided us. I really appreciate your hard work for opening my mind to ideas and options, right? So that is the type of thing, right? Like, that's where I get my inspiration from, is when I see comments like that and people are saying, hey, thanks for doing this, because I've started implementing your advice, my channel's grown from this to this and things like that. That is where the juice is for me, so to speak. And same thing with the idea of the day. Your great advice isn't easy to find, and even harder to find people who listen and personally respond. It's from the community aspect of things, it's super important that you try to respond as much as you possibly can. If you're trying to build a community, if you're just trying to get views and all that stuff, not as big of a deal. Razman's Reality says, hey Nick, what's the ad tool in TubeBuddy for adding branding? Want to add a new strip to my old thumbnails. I'm not sure what it's called, but let me open up my thing here and I will do a quick. Man, I typed in YouTuber again. It's funny, I type in YouTuber so much on different things that I work on that that it's kind of like a default thing. So when I'm looking at anything else, that's what I see. Let's see here. Let me go into my creator studio real quick, then hopefully I can tell you what that's called. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where is the thumbnail thing? Yeah, you know what? Off the top of my head, because I don't use that tool, so off the top of my head, I'm not sure, so I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah, off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there it is. Let's see here. Is it under here? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's not. Okay, so yeah, right now I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm not sure. Razman's reality. Okay, let's see here. Babish, let's see what Babish has to say. 149 people still in here. All right, so because this live stream is probably going to be going on for a while, we just crossed an hour. So because it's probably going to be going on for a while, I'm going to play that intro one more time. And the reason I'm doing this and the reason that I keep playing this, it's actually going to be in my 50,000 subscriber video, like a how to get 50,000 subscribers or what I've learned or, you know, whatever I'm going to title it. But basically I'm putting this intro in there in addition to a bunch of other screenshots and things like that because I want it to be kind of inspirational to the people that watch that video because, you know, like I was saying before, you know, first starting out on YouTube, like I know a lot of you are right now, you know, you're first starting out on YouTube, you're first getting going and you're having all of these difficulties and things like that. You know, if you keep uploading, you keep learning, you keep tweaking, you keep optimizing what it is that you're doing, it can over an amount of time, over, you know, a relatively short amount of time over the scheme of things, it can make a huge difference as long as you're making decent content. But here it is. This is part of what's going to be going on at the beginning of my 50,000 subscriber video that I'm showing you here in the live stream as well. So you'll get to see the full version on the video that goes up Monday. But this is where I'm at so far. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Intro vid. Before you know it, making videos is just going to be something that you do. I just recently crossed the 10,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. Thank you to the first 20,000 people that have subscribed to my channel. You just watched this channel cross over 30,000 YouTube subscribers. Thanks for all the kind words. You know, there's a lot of people in the chat saying, you know, congratulations on the 40,000. If making videos is something that you really want to do, the fun that you're going to have sharing yourself and your knowledge with the world is going to far outweigh the worries that you're having now. So yeah, so that's pretty much the intro that is going to be rolling out. So, but like I said, you know, the whole thing for that is, you know, is inspiration for people that are getting started out and that want to see that it is possible. You know what I mean? Because, you know, as YouTubers, you know, as a YouTuber in your life, in a lot of cases, not everybody, but in a lot of cases, as a YouTuber, you are the only person or one of the very few people within your social circle that are doing YouTube, right? And because of that, you know, you don't have a lot of inspiration to draw from, you know, when it actually comes to YouTube. And because of that, you know, like I like to, you know, that's why sometimes in my videos, you know, I'll drop things like on Instagram today. As an example, on Instagram today, I dropped a clip out of one of my videos talking about, you know, focusing on being unique in order to stand out on YouTube. And, you know, the reason that I try to do this inspirational stuff is because I know that a lot of people, they don't have, you know, other people in their social circle that are into YouTube that understand what's going on with YouTube. Like, you know, outside of my brother, you know, the other friends that I have, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to cross 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's crazy. This is awesome. Huge milestone. I'm so pumped up about it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. Good job. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they could care less, you know, is what I'm getting at. And I know a lot of you have the same exact thing. So that's why I try to, you know, drop inspirational stuff when I get the chance to, because, you know, a lot of us are in this alone as far as doing the whole YouTube thing is concerned. So Yeah, Bodies After Baby says that they're the black sheep in their circle, in their social circle. Yeah, and that's the thing, like in a lot of cases in the world, in a lot of cases, like a lot of entrepreneurs are the black sheep in their circle, or they were at one time, and then now everybody's like, oh, hey, how do you have so much free time? Hey, hey, you're doing so well, and, things like that. So, there's nothing wrong with being the person that is the black sheep, the person that people don't understand. There's nothing wrong with being the person that is different from the other people that you're around. Let's see here. Yeah, Angie says that she is as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of a lot of black sheeps here in this chat, it seems. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I wouldn't say that I'm like a full black sheep, but like I think a lot differently than a lot of the people that I hang out with. Let's see here. Start promote my channel. Okay, so let's get some questions rolling in here, and so that I can answer any of your YouTube questions, and then here in just a bit we will get into the other stuff. Let's see here. Don't Be a Psycho asks, do you vlog, Nick? You should behind the scenes with Nick Nimmin. I've considered doing that, but the actual work involved with creating a vlog channel as well is to do it right. There's a lot of work that goes into that. What I am going to do is on my Patreon, because like basically like the way that I'm looking at it is the people that are on Patreon are the people that are more like they want to learn more, and in addition to that, they are just a little bit more into the stuff that I'm making. So I will be putting some vlog stuff there as well, just for all tiers on there. And the reason for that is because if I put that on my channel, like as an example, I did my behind the scenes setup video on my channel, and that I had tons of people saying, hey, show me your setup, show me your setup, show me your setup in comments. Hey, I'd love to see your setup. And then I dropped that video, and it's literally the worst performing video that I've made on my channel in probably 6 months as far as retention is concerned, because like that's not a good fit for, even though people say, hey, I want to see it, that's not a good fit for the majority of people on the channel. Let's see here. True Financials asks, hey, Nick, when can you edit tags and descriptions on a posted video? 48 hours after going live or after 7 days? That's an excellent question, and I recommend I recommend getting your SEO together first, and when you publish your video, have everything in place that you're wanting to rank for, and then leave the video alone for months. And the reason I say that, of course, if a video is just tanking, then you may not want to do that. But here, you know what? I'm actually going to pull something up on my dashboard, and I want to show you this because it directly pertains to what it is that you are asking. I have a video that originally took 4 months to get off the ground, and now it is hold on. And now it is doing awesome. Hold on, let's see here. Let me go to the lifetime. Make sure I'm not exposing anything crazy here, and then we will go to the browser source. Nope, that's not it. Let's see here. Go to display capture. Okay, to answer your question, True Financials, if you look here, right, when I published the video, right, it took this video 4 months. And then out of nowhere, because of the watch time accumulated, this video actually ended up ranking really well. It got a big spike, right? So what happened here is it got a big spike. My guess, based on history, is that it got a big spike, and then this video, it got a big spike in suggested and in search, and this video didn't do that well comparing to other videos that were being served around it at the time, right? Being served in search, being served in suggested videos. Maybe they weren't clicking on it enough or whatever. So it drops, right? Then it goes, a lot of ups and downs, but it steadily climbs as it gains more watch time, it gains more authority. It just keeps popping up in those places, and people do start clicking on it more. People do start coming in it more, and then wham, I get another test, right? Hey, okay, well, people are into this. Here it goes again. Big spike, and then drops down. Bunch of other small spikes, and then it keeps climbing up. But if you notice my baseline right here, right? What happened is it took 4 months just to get it up past this first baseline, right? And then after that, it took another 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, took another 6 months in order for this to happen. And then, and basically what I'm getting at here, what the idea behind what it is that I'm showing you is that sometimes it takes time for a video to mature. And this is especially true on a smaller channel, because as your channel builds authority and as your channel builds more watch time, then it's going to be you'll see videos, just random videos, start taking off. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. Some of those are because it does gain a lot of watch time, it ends up ranking better in search. Because it gains a lot of watch time, YouTube starts promoting it out more internally. They also, because, you know, as my channel grows, right, or as your channel grows and more people are coming into your channel, that's more of your channel that's inside of viewer history, right? Which means that your content, is new and old, is going to start getting suggested to more and more people. And the more they actually click on your thumbs or your titles and they come in and they watch your content, those good signals start going out to YouTube. And then they start showing your content to people that also, maybe they've never seen your content before, but they watch similar content to the type of content that you make. So then YouTube starts saying, okay, hey, well, let's start pushing this out to other people, that because it's performing well, it's getting clicks, and people are actually watching the video. Then they start pushing it out to people that that are just watching similar content to yours, but they've never been exposed to you. And depending on how your content does there, that can be a defining factor on if that video continues to go, or as you can see on mine, where, you know, where it'll take a break and then keep climbing, and then it pops up again, and so on. So I definitely would not be messing with your description and your title 7 days into the upload. I would not be doing that personally. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I personally would give it a few months. And like I said, this is where research comes in handy also, because, you know, if you're researching the phrases that you're going for, then, you know, go for those phrases and commit for a while. You know what I mean? Just keep uploading, but just make sure that you're optimizing all of your content as good as you can with the abilities that you have at that point in time. And then, you know, 3 months, 4 months down the road, if that video is not performing, if it's not going up in some way, even if it's just a little bit, if it's not going up in some way, then you go back and you try to tweak it. Okay, my vids are lagging. What should I do? And can you then see what is wrong with my channel? My vids are lagging. What should I do? And okay, let's see here. Getting more subs. SEO strategy. Let's see where we are at here. Nice, 141 people still in here. Make sure that you are giving this video a thumbs up and that you are sharing this video on Twitter if you're enjoying the content. It took 4 months to get it up, the Chica, absolutely. Oh, Darren, Explore List, what's going on, man? Nice to see you in here. That's interesting to know. I've been creating videos with high search and low competition and concentrating on SEO, but not seeing the views increase. In that case, you might want to go for topics that are just a little bit more difficult as well, Darren. Like if the content that you're making now is not generating views for you, then you might want to go for phrases that are more difficult than what it is that you're going for right now. What to do when you get a copyright strike? Look yourself in the mirror and say, why did I use content that belongs to somebody else? That would be a good place to start. In addition to that, if you are not in the wrong, then you can submit an appeal with YouTube. Let's see here. Okay, Hippie Swift, this is super important. Okay, Hippie Swift says, my worst videos do better than good ones I spent weeks working on. Okay, now, if Hippie Swift, I don't know if you're just joining or if you've been in here for a while, but I was talking earlier about your target audience, right? And how important it is to make content that you know, connects with your target audience, making content that the people that you're trying to reach are looking for. If your worst videos do better than good ones that you spend weeks on, that tells you that for your audience, that they like that type of content, right? So maybe you shouldn't spend weeks on content, which works out for you, but maybe you shouldn't spend weeks on content. Maybe you should spend the same amount of time and look at the videos that they're watching and say, okay, what is it about this video that is not like my other videos? Because it might not be the time spent. It might be the structure that you're using. It might be the actual imagery that you're showing or the actual topics that you're talking about or something like that. But there is an indicator there. So if you have a series of videos that are doing better and they're your worst videos and they're doing better than the videos that you spend all this time on, then what that can be saying is it can be saying that your audience isn't looking for the stuff that you spend weeks on. They're looking for the stuff that you just put together, right? Let's see here. How many times do I need to upload in a week? Sorry for bad English. I'm from Estonia. No problem at all, Ray Z. Your English actually came out perfect on that. And can you review my channel? Okay, so how many times do I need to upload in a week? Right now, I highly recommend that you do 2 to 3 if you can work it into your schedule. Okay, let me put this dude here in timeout. Hey, that's good. Okay, HS Howe asks, what special tools are you using for your videos to rank higher? Me personally, I use TubeBuddy. You can go to tubebuddy.com/install, or that's their thing, or there's a link to TubeBuddy down in the description. If you click on that, then I'll get hooked up for sending you over there. But yeah, TubeBuddy, and anybody that in the chat that uses TubeBuddy can co-sign this. But TubeBuddy is an amazing tool for getting insights into what you should be trying to rank for and stuff like that. Let's see here. The best tip for a beginner, Sophia Sweet, the best tip for a beginner is, I'll give you a few since you're just starting out. The best tips that I have for a beginner is know who it is that you're trying to reach with your content. Don't get discouraged, because with everything that you do in your life, there's a learning curve. YouTube is no different than that. You know, like there's things that you have to learn about different aspects of what it is that you're doing always, no matter what it is that you're trying when you're going into something new. YouTube is no different. So try to learn as much as you can about how to do things on YouTube. There's my channel, of course. If you go to my actual channel page, in addition to me, there are other channels in my sidebar. If you view it on a computer. If not, then just go to the channels tab if you're on your phone. And but there's other channels in my sidebar that also share similar type of content that I share. So also check them out. In addition to that, make sure that you go through the YouTube Creator Academy. It's absolutely free. Doesn't cost you anything, which means the same as absolutely free, but it doesn't cost you anything. And basically what the YouTube Creator Academy is it's basically YouTube saying, hey, we've put this information together so that we can teach you how to use our platform. So make sure that you go through there, because they highlight things that are more important than other things, and they will also help be kind of like a guiding light for you, because there's a lot of information that's spread around on YouTube. There's a lot of myths. There's a lot of things that people say work that a lot of people say that, hey, this works to get views or subscribers or whatever, but it doesn't really. So it's important that you are well studied, so to speak, on YouTube. Like if you're trying to do YouTube as something that you're going to take seriously and that you're going to try to actually grow something with, then it's really important that you try to learn as much as you possibly can. In addition to that, make sure that you try to make the best content that you can with your ability. If your content is not fantastic right now, don't worry about it. Go as you grow, right? Build as you grow, improve as you grow. I have a video on my channel that I did with a Thai YouTuber called Chicky Pie. She started out with a phone, and as her channel grew, then she improved everything, and now she's over 1 million subscribers. So, you know, it's super important that 1, you get started, 2, that you learn as much as you can, 3, that you work with what you have and try to make everything as good as you can with what you have right now. Super, super important. And that you keep at it too, and don't get discouraged, because it does take time. It does take time to get a channel going, to get a channel off the ground, unless you get lucky and you have a viral video, because most people can't manufacture viral content. There's few people that can do that. And that actual phrase that I just said, that actually came to me subconsciously through the interview that I watched with Roberto earlier today. But it's true, right? Like very few people can manufacture viral content. I actually did in the podcast that I do with Owen Video, the Business of Video podcast. There's a link to that down in the description as well. In that podcast, we also interviewed another guy that did do that, to where he actually does that style of content for companies. Hi, Nick. Congrats. You're going to hit 51K soon. If I'm putting links to other social media or other channels that I've used free music from, is that hurting my SEO? Technically, no, it's not hurting your SEO. It can technically help your SEO, that if you're linking to relevant sources. But on the flip side of that, you can also cause session kills, which is something that you don't want to do. But if you're using instrumentals, or if you're using songs or whatever that require you, through the license that you have, that require you to put links to them, then definitely go ahead and put links to them so that you're in the clear there. But no, as far as your actual SEO is concerned, it's not gonna hurt you. Okay, let's see here. Same here. Search. Let's see here. If you want to do, the Gamer Guy says, if you want to do a Q&A special when you have 350 subs and you make a video about that you're going to do it and you don't get any questions, what should you do? Okay. I actually just got this question the other day as well, so I'm glad that you asked that, Gamer Guy. If you are wanting to do a Q&A style video, wait until people start asking you questions. Right? So if you're going to do a 350 subs special, don't make it a Q&A. Just do something special for your viewers. Do something a little bit out of the ordinary. Excuse me. Just do something a little bit out of the ordinary that you don't normally do on your channel, and do it, for your viewers, right? Like spend some extra time on a video, putting some extra information together, maybe shouting some people out or something like that. But if people are not asking you questions yet, then doing a Q&A isn't really appropriate, because if you have to reach out and ask for people, hey, what kind of stuff you want to know and things like that, nobody's really asking you questions, then just hold off on it. You'll get there. Just hold off on it and don't do a Q&A yet. Just wait until it's a better time to do a Q&A, because what will happen eventually is people will start asking you questions in your comment sections and things like that. And then from there, once you decide to do a Q&A, you can go through and you can start compiling all of those questions. And one thing that I recommend is, if you're on your phone and you have the Creator Studio on your phone, the Creator Studio app from YouTube, is as those questions come in, one thing that I do, and I use this for video ideas too, as the questions come in, then I'll screenshot them and I'll crop it down so that it's just that question. And then when I'm going through my phone, those all look a certain way. So I can just click on it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll make a video about that. I'll make a video about that. And then I'll start, adding them to my content schedule. So yeah, as far as the Q&A is concerned, just wait until it's a more appropriate time, until people are actually asking you questions. Let's see here. Hack Tech says SEO versus suggested video strategy, and why? Both. Right? You want to go for both. Suggested long term, as your channel grows, you'll end up getting more views from suggested than you will from SEO, unless you have some videos that are just ranked in a killer spot. You'll also get a lot of views from Google if you're optimizing your videos correctly as well. But as far as like individual videos, like when you first launch them, you'll get a lot of views coming in from suggested. So it's good to actually go for both. Let's see here. Dollar Dude, what's going on? Nice to see you in here, my man. Let's see here. The Gamer Guy recently had that happen. I asked for questions on Instagram and Facebook and got nothing. So I just did a reading your comments style vid where I answered comments people had already left. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Let's see here. That's good info. I wanted to do a Q&A when I reached 100 subs, but no one asked questions. Yeah, just hang in there. You'll get there. People will ask questions. The same exact thing with me. It took a while for people to start asking questions. And the funny thing is like most of it, in my case, was YouTube related. And then, some people wanted to know additional information. But for me, I would usually just answer that in the questions. Like the Q&As that I do here in the live streams, like these are mostly for, to answer like YouTube related stuff. I answer personal questions too if people ask those, but for the most part, these, all of the content on my channel, if you haven't noticed, all of the content on my channel is geared towards you, right? And the live streams are the same way. You know, I'm either, you know, like I like to answer your questions. I like to look at the channels to see, you know, where you can improve in the channels. And even, you know, like before where I was showing you like my intros and stuff, you know, that even that, it's all for the sake of inspiring you. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Do you need a tripod to film on your iPhone? And do you have to use expensive equipment to film your YouTube channel? Jacqueline, absolutely not. Tripods are good for the sake of, you know, having a stable image, but it is not a requirement. You can set your phone, you know, depending on where you're recording, you can set your phone up on a bookshelf. You can set your phone up on a wall if you're outside. You know, you can set your phone up somewhere and record that way to keep the image stable. And as far as let's see here, what was the second part of that? Oh yeah, and as far as the expensive equipment is concerned, like I just mentioned a little bit ago, about Chicky Pie, you know, she started out on an iPhone. This is a Samsung, it's not an iPhone, but she started out on an iPhone, and then as the channel kept getting more and more attention and it kept swelling up, then they spent money on better gear. And even still, like they have lights, right? They have like expensive light kits that they got and things like that, but for their personal taste and how the videos actually turned out, they ended up going back to the original lighting setup instead of using the expensive lights because they like how it looks better. So, you know, like more expensive equipment isn't always the answer. A lot of people will ask me, hey, I want my videos to look like yours. You know, what equipment do you use? So I say what equipment I use, which is a Canon 70D, and I use a ATR or an Audio Technica ATR 875R, I believe is the mic. I route that through a Zoom H5 or H4n. And the part that they don't ask is there anything that you do to your video after you record it? And that is where the actual magic happens, because, you know, my actual footage, it looks kind of like this, like you're seeing here in the live stream, right? When I actually record the videos, but once I actually get it into my video editor, I pump up the colors and I pump up the contrast, and I make the video a little bit more sharp and things like that. I put a vignette around the whole. Here we go. Let's go in this. There we go. I put a vignette around the whole frame, and all of that stuff. So yeah, there's you can do a lot in video editing software. So if you're making videos on your phone, go ahead and make your videos and spend a little bit of extra time in the editing process trying to figure out how to make them look a little bit more unique or add a little bit more pop to them. And then you can keep making videos on your phone until you don't want to make videos on your phone anymore. And to be honest with you, more than half of YouTube's traffic is mobile traffic anyway. So, you know, like you spend all this time, you know, trying to get your image to look great, but in reality, people are looking at your video, you know, people are looking at your video this big or this big. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you still want it to look good, of course, but in reality, you know, people are watching your videos on small devices. So the actual video quality itself is getting less and less important. But what I do recommend is that you do spend time, and if you need to, spend money making sure that your audio is on point. Super important. Because, you know, keep that in mind as well. A lot of people that are watching on their phones, you know, a lot of them might have headphones in or something like that because they don't want to, you know, bother everybody around them or whatever. So you want everything to sound as good as it possibly can. Okay, let's see here. Back into the questions. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Are live streams more helpful to grow a channel other than uploading and editing a video? Yes. And the reason for that is the accumulated watch time, for one. And another reason for that is the actual connection that you're making with the people that are watching your videos. Because, you know, like as you can see, you know, like I shout people out as I recognize names more and more. You know, I shout people out. Flash in the Pan, Nerdy Explorer, Inappropriate K-Pop Mom is in here. Doug Howson is in here. Jimmy Changa, Dollar Dude. You know what I mean? So it's making those connections with the people that are regularly consuming your content and that are regularly active in your community. So it's really good for that, and it's really good for watch time as well, as long as, you know, you have people coming in and watching your live streams. If your tags are not ranking really high, it's not the actual tags that are as important as the actual video itself, MJYT. You want to actually focus on ranking the video, not necessarily the tags, which I know your tags are ranking the video, but you know, you basically want to rank the entire video for a specific term, and you want to target that term, and then all of the additional tags that it ranks for, those are just kind of like bonuses, really, that it ranks in those spots as well. RKM Creations, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. Elise Lee says, I did a live stream and lost subs. Yeah, that can happen too. But as far as YouTube, as far as the algorithm is concerned, it can be beneficial if you have people coming into your stream. Like, one thing that's happened with me is I've lost subs as well from live streaming. And the complaint that I get is that, hey man, I like to watch the shorter videos, but I don't have time to watch a 3-hour live stream. And that's cool. I understand a lot of people don't. And some people, though, they'll unsubscribe to me for that. But as far as I'm concerned, like, I'm not worried about that. It's like if you're going to unsubscribe because of one video per week to where I'm adding tons of value in that video and I'm adding tons of value in the other 2 videos that I upload per week, that's cool. Like, I'm not worried about the people that unsubscribe, right? What I'm worried about is giving the people that stay subscribed the content that they're looking for, to answer the questions that they're looking for, to provide solutions for the people that actually come in on a regular basis. Like right now, as an example, if the floor dropped out of this and for whatever reason my channel stopped growing at, 51,000 subscribers, right? If that were to happen, as long as I was still making content that was valuable to you that are in here right now, that's fine. Let's see here. Pizza Squeeze. Can you please read this comment, please? Can I put sound commands on Nightbot? I have no idea what Nightbot is. So sorry that I can't give you an answer for that. Guy CY, should I do subscriber specials for small milestones like 25? Personally, I wouldn't, but it all depends on your personal, your personal stuff. Like, what is it that you're trying to do on your channel? How much to you is a big deal? If 25 subscribers is a big deal, then by all means celebrate it. If 10 subscribers is a big deal, then by all means celebrate having those 10 subscribers. You know what I mean? Like, like if you look at your subscriber count like it's people, then it really changes the dynamic. Because a lot of us will look at a subscriber count and think of it as like, it's just a number, it's just subscribers. But when you look at it like those subscribers are all people, then it makes all of these different milestones 25 or 50,000, right? 25 people or 50,000 people. It makes those milestones that much bigger when you look at it as, actual people that are subscribing to your channel. Let's see. Razman's Reality says, study other channels in your niche and do what they do while being yourself. It will really help you grow. Yeah, that's definitely good. Model success. Don't copy people, but model success, right? It's if you see something that's working and it's in the niche that you're doing, as long as what it is that you're wanting to do is something that isn't going to damage people. Like if you're sharing information about something, like, for example, if I went in and I started sharing advice on Bitcoin, if I started a Bitcoin channel right now and I started sharing advice on Bitcoin and blockchain and all that stuff, because I'm not well versed in it, I would be doing a disservice to the people that watch the videos, right? And I would just be regurgitating stuff that I heard from other people, right? And that's not what you want to do as far as modeling other people are concerned. What you want to do is you want to say, okay, well, these particular people in my niche are doing this particular thing. I dig it, so I'm going to do something similar, but I'm going to make it unique to myself and make it unique to the type of content that I put out, so that I can best serve my audience and the people that watch my content. Cutting the Caboose asks, do you use Auphonic for your audio? It's what I use to make my audio really pop. I haven't heard of that before. That is a new tool, so I'll have to look into that. I personally use Adobe Audition. And then I have a process that I run my audio through. Basically, when I'm done editing the video, I'll export my video out of Vegas, and I'll import that into Adobe Audition. And inside of Adobe Audition, first I'll clean up the noise, then I'll normalize it, then I'll run a dynamics processor on it, then I'll normalize it again, and then after I normalize it, then I will add an EQ. and then I'll go in and I'll add a de-esser to it, and then, I'll adjust volumes here and there. Maybe if there's like a ridiculous peak or something like that, then I'll go through and kind of tone that down a little bit. And but besides that, it's been a pretty cool tool. But I want to look into Auphonic, because if that's like an easy to use editor, it's definitely something that I can recommend to other people. On my site Tuber Tools, I'm actually going to put a page. It's on my to-do list. I'm going to put a page of gear that I can send people to, or not gear. I already have that. I'm gonna put a page of tools that I can send people to, like in these live streams as an example, that to where it's like, hey, these are all of the different audio softwares you can use. These are all of the different things you can use to live stream. These are all of the different phone apps you can use to make videos. These are all the different apps you can use to make videos, or editing software that you can use to make videos, and so on, so that people can go to that page and they can see all of the options, because there's a lot of repetitive questions about video editing software, audio software, live streaming software, and things like that. So I think that would be a valuable resource. Heartkey Creation says it's totally their loss. Yeah, I think you're talking there about the people that bail. I totally agree. And thank you for saying that, by the way. Perfect Dude, Clash of Clans, thank you. Tech Buddy Ratan says, hello, Nick. My channel is not growing even after I uploaded more than 80 videos. Please help. What to do? If you've uploaded 80 videos and your channel's not growing, then you need to objectively look at what it is that you're doing on your channel. You need to look at your channel. You need to say, hey, the content that I'm making, am I optimizing my stuff for search? If I am I going for keywords that I have a chance of ranking for? If I am, then my actual video structure itself. Is my video structure in place to where when people come in, they're going to watch my videos for an extended period of time? If the answer is no, then you need to figure that out. You need to look at your actual channel page and say, hey, does my channel have visual authority? When somebody lands on my channel page, are they going to be impressed by what they see? Does it look like a pro channel? Does it look like something that they should subscribe to? That's your storefront. Super important. Does it look like something they should subscribe to? Does it look like something interesting? And is everything displayed in a way that people can easily see a broad range of the content that I make on my channel? I'm actually going to open you up right now. I'm not going to pull you on the screen, but I'm just going to do a quick glance and see what's going on. Okay, so here, like as an example, right, just as a heads up to you, like just in your channel art, just as a quick thing here, congratulations, you've crossed 1,000 subscribers, so you're doing okay. But like what you're doing here in your channel art, there's nothing in your channel art that says the type of content that you make. You just have that, you have your YouTube channel URL, which is completely irrelevant because they're already on your channel page when they see this channel art. And then you have your actual logo or your actual name of your channel. And you have Tech Buddy, which does say, hey, it's like tech related, but there's nothing specific about the actual type of content you make. And you also definitely need to spend some time on your thumbnails as well. Just a quick thing there. Let's see here. Bravish Brains, sorry for everything I did. Please give me a chance. I'm a big fan of yours. Please unblock Brains of Technology. Whew, wearing me out, dude. Wearing me out. Okay, so when you search for my channel, Fire and Gasoline, it wants to split the words and makes it hard to find my channel. I think this is hurting my channel. Can you help? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you saying that it's trunicating your words there? I'm going to do it right now. Man, I did it again. I just typed in YouTuber again. Man, this is... And again, I just tried to correct it, and I typed in YouTuber again. Woo! See, you know what's on my brain, right? I'm just typing in YouTuber. Okay, let's see here. Fire and Gasoline. Let's see here. Search instead for Fire and Gasoline. 76 videos. It's not trunicating here on my end. I'm looking at it on my computer. Maybe it will on the phone. But yeah, it's not trunicating on my end, so you're good. Oh, it wants to split the words and makes it hard to find my channel. I got you. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Here's the thing. What you want to do in that case is you want to basically just make sure that you're adding your channel name to your tags as well. And as your channel grows, then it will start coming up in search more. Basically, all of your videos, because they're all, you know, connected and whatnot. So I would make one playlist and put all of your content into it. Name that playlist Fire and Gasoline. Don't put it on your channel page, but name that playlist Fire and Gasoline. But the thing is, that's going to hurt you with making series playlists, so that's probably actually back that up and don't do that, actually. So what you're going to have to do then is you're just going to have to wait until your channel gets more authority to where it actually comes up on the top of the search for that. But in reality, most people aren't going to be searching for that anyway for a while. So I wouldn't let that get in your way. Okay, let's see here. Thank you very much, Doug Halson, Nerdy Explorer, for taking time to answer my questions. Okay, they've got that. So yeah, I've uploaded twice daily, and my channel won't grow. I'm going to take a stab and say that you're a gaming channel. Yeah, and on your channel page, like, I don't even see any of your content, actually. Roni Productions. And you've only been going for 3 weeks. Hang in there, buddy. Let's see here. In great work, Nick. May the 4th be with us all. Let's see here. Hi, Nick. I use a decent amount of views, but when I didn't upload for months, am I seeing a huge decline? Yeah, that's common, because what's happening is you're losing your place in viewer history. So if you don't upload for a while, then you're losing your place in viewer history, which basically means that when you upload new content, less people are getting recommended your new content, and less people are getting recommended your older content because it's not up to date, it's not relevant with what's going on in the viewer histories in the people that watch your channel. Let's see here. RYO Club, what is going on? Let's see here. How often, Dane Bryan says, how do we need to mix up our content? How often do we need to mix up our content? It depends on what it is that you're doing on your channel. Like, if you have a plan to, make a big, long string of content to serve your target audience, then you don't need to mix up your content. You don't need to mix it up at all. Just keep doing what it is that you're doing that serves your audience. But if something's not working, if you're like, hey, man, I've been doing this for a while now and I'm just not getting traction, then the same exact thing applies, where you need to look at everything that you're doing objectively and say, okay, why is this not working? Not in a complaining way, not in a, oh, why is this not working, right? But you need to look at it and say, okay, why is this not working? What is it? Compare your channel to other channels, compare your video to other videos and things like that, and say, in your niche, and say, what is it that I'm doing? Am I not titling my videos correctly? Do my thumbnails look like what I click on my thumbnails, right? Do I need to make my thumbnails more appealing? Do I need to make my titles more appealing? Do I need to lay my channel page out differently? Do I need to make my content in a different way? Do I need to target something or do I need to make videos that are about something maybe not as specific as I'm making it, but maybe just a little bit more broad? Or if you're making content that's really broad, then in that case, hey, maybe I need to narrow down the type of content that I'm making. But base everything on if it's working for you or not. Let's see here. Okay, I see it now. It's only your video library, but homepage is empty. How do I fix the decline in my views? Decline in your views, that's all based on if people are actually watching your content or not, if people are actually interacting with your channel in terms of, subscribing and watching your videos. And also, the actual topics that you're going for and how you're optimizing those videos for search. Camp Counselor says, Nick Nation, watch time versus views. Watch time. Absolutely watch time. Nick Nation. Interesting. I like that. Nick Nation. It's the first time I've ever seen that. I like how that sounds. Nick Nation. I think Nimmin Nation maybe be more appropriate, but Nick Nation works. I need a name like that. That'd be funny. Yeah, so definitely watch time. YouTube specifically says that that they judge you by your watch time. So watch time is definitely the winner. If you get let's say 1,000 views, but people are not sticking on your video, then that video is not going to be promoted, right? So watch time is super, super important. Clash with your Aryan Mobile Gaming says, hey, nice to see you live in video. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to see you live in the live stream. Nice to see you hanging out. Let's see here. Nim Nation. Yeah, that works too. NNN also works. I'm not even going to say that one out of fear. Ray Z, yes, that is very good. Let's see here. It was late. I woke up until 5 a.m. and I just woke up. Nimmin Nation. Yeah, I like that too. What is a good watch time on a video percentage-wise? I would shoot for high 60s. You're not always going to get that. Sometimes you'll get more, sometimes you get less, but I would shoot for high 60s as kind of like a minimum standard that you're going for. If you're not hitting high 60s, then I would really look at what it is that you're doing and try and start at the very front of your video and literally with every single video that you upload, start making tiny little micro changes to what it is that you're doing and experiment with different things that you can do to keep people, watching for an extended amount of time. And also compare your videos against each other, right? So it's like, hey, in all of my videos, for whatever reason, a minute in, people start dropping off, then analyze what am I doing in that minute, or what am I doing, around that time period to make people start heading off of the channel or off of the video. But yeah, go for high 60s. If you get into the higher 70s, then YouTube will promote your videos more internally. But you definitely want to go for at least the higher 60s. Yeah, I like Nick Nation too. That sounds good. Sounds good. I like Nimmin Nation too. It just has like a flow to it. Nimmin Nation, because of all the N's going on there. Okay, Cricket. Let's see here. Can you comment on how the stats for your latest video impact subsequent uploads? Yeah, absolutely. If you have a video that does well, then your next video is more likely to do well. If you have a video that does horribly, then your next video is more likely to not do as well, because basically what happens is this. It's all about internal promotion, right? So as a very small channel, it's not going to make a humongous difference. But as your channel grows, then if your video doesn't do as well today than your last videos, what's going to happen is YouTube is going to promote that video out less, because when you release a new video, all of your subscribers don't see that video. Like when I upload a video, YouTube doesn't automatically push it out to every single person that watches my videos. It's based on their viewer history, right? And the same thing with your videos. That's why I tell people in my videos, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss anything. It does send my content out to every single person that clicks the bell, but it does not send my content out or your content out to every single person that subscribes to your channel, right? All of that is based on your channel and video performance. So if your video that you uploaded today doesn't do as well, then the next video might have a more difficult start because it's not pushing it out, internally on their platform as much because of the performance on the last video. Now, with that said, if when they do push it out, that video performs excellent, then in that case, then they will, they'll start pushing it back out. It might not go out right away, but you might see that video pick up within the next, 42 to 72 hours, or 48 to 72 hours. Gamernomics, thanks. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Doing Army. Yeah, that's good too. Let's see here. Okay, with the suggested verse, Jimmy Chongo, with suggested verse related. See, I like this. These are some new questions that people haven't asked before. Okay, suggested verse gaming. Verse related. Basically, suggested is the where YouTube says, hey, this just popped up, you should check this out. Related is to where your video is directly connected to another video in the sidebar or anywhere else on the on the video page. So when YouTube is actually suggesting your content, hey, we recommend, or I'll say recommended, not suggested, but when they say, hey, we recommend this video, this is a new video from this person, then that's based on when you're putting out the video. But the actual related videos that are connected next to the video in the sidebar, or at the after the video ends or whatever, then those are actually directly connected to that video based on topic, or the viewers that watch this video. A lot of people went and they watched this video as well, so we're going to serve these two videos together, or they're linked together because of the topic or whatever. Mr. Jaden asks, man, this is another good one nobody's ever asked. Mr. Jaden asks, hey, dude, is it normal to feel like you look weird on camera when vlogging when you're first starting out? Absolutely. Not only is it normal to feel like you look weird on camera, but it's also normal to feel like you sound weird also. Because normally when we listen to ourselves, we have, it's coming from inside of our own heads, right? So, all of our voice box and all that, it's all self-contained, right? So because of that, when you see yourself on camera, you hear yourself, it's different than what you're used to experiencing. Because, okay, let's say this. When every time you see yourself in real life, it's in a mirror, right? Or some type of reflective surface, and you're usually looking at yourself straight on, or, maybe a little bit to the side, one side. But for the most part, you see yourself straight on in order to notice the reflection. So what happens is when you're vlogging is you start seeing yourself from, this angle up here. You start seeing yourself from this angle down here, from this side angle, from the back, things like that, depending on, how you're shooting your content. But, everything is looking weird. You know what I mean? Because it's not how you're used to seeing yourself. So absolutely, that is a very normal, common problem to have. So you are not weird for thinking that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's like, who's that alien? For sure. HS Hal, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. Bilal Kokar. There you go. HS Hal asks, what are the best topics to make videos on? That all depends on your plan. It all depends on who it is you're trying to make videos for. Because the type of videos that I would make would be a totally different type of videos than what you would make for your channel. So basically figure out the types of videos that, one, you want to make, because that's really what's most important. Two, figure out how well those videos fit into an audience that you can target, and then start making those videos. Jimmy Moonshine asks, should you block haters or people who you argue with, other YouTubers about your videos? That's a personal decision. If it gets to the point to where it's annoying, then yeah, go ahead and block them. But if it, like everybody, not everybody agrees on everything. So, just because somebody has a different opinion doesn't mean they should be blocked. But on the flip side of that, if they're causing you grief, then yeah, go ahead and block them. Just shadow ban them or whatever. And then that way you don't have to, they're not even on your radar at that point. Let's see here. How to promote your live streams. You can do so on social media. There's also Twitter things, which I actually just recently became aware of. There are Twitter groups for live streamers to where you can, when you go live, you can @ your live stream, and you can say, hey, I'm actually going to put out a thing on Twitter right now. Real quick, if you are not sharing this out on Twitter, make sure that you do so right now so we can get other YouTubers in here. If you have joined me live, great, 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I typed in YouTuber again. Man, that's like the theme of the day. This is crazy. I don't know why I keep doing that. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Okay, and then bam. And tweet. Just in case anybody hasn't watched it. Okay, and real quick also, just as a side note, for the reviews later, if you are... Oh, Jen says Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks for me. What a perfect mix. Grabbing a Dunkin' Donut, taking it to Starbucks, dipping that puppy in some coffee, like a glazed Dunkin' Donut, dipping it in coffee. Ah, that's like heaven on earth right there. Neve makes a V sound. Oh, interesting. Neve. Got it. Neve. Yeah, so real quick for the reviews, as a side note, make sure, because we're going to be sliding into that section here in just a few minutes. So as a side note, if you are doing, if you're pushing it out on Twitter, make sure when you do that you also include your, make sure you @ me, and then make sure that you include a link to your channel right there in that tweet. Because basically what happens is I open up my Twitter, and then I go through and I start seeing those. And then, if it's easy for me to open it up and see the channel, then I'll do that. A few ground rules here, just so you know, before we move into that section. A few ground rules. If your channel is not verified, if you do not have a custom layout on your channel, then I'm just going to skip right over it. So if your channel is not verified and you do not have a custom layout on your channel, at the first impression, if it looks like you're not putting any effort in, then I'm going to skip right over it, just so you know. But if it looks like you're putting in any effort at all, then if I right click it and I see it, then you'll make the list. iStalker, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you in here, buddy. Gamernomics, Nick, what is your subscriber goal for 2017? Can you talk about the importance of setting your growth goals? Mine isn't necessarily a subscriber goal per se. My goal when I first started out for this year, like I've already crushed that. I was hoping to get like 25,000. So I mean, I've just completely annihilated that goal. So as far as that is concerned, like I'm good there. Like the stuff that I'm focusing on now is more, as far as my personal goals are concerned, is more business related stuff around my Tuber Tools website and things like that. But as far as my YouTube goals, stay consistent, keep putting out content that helps people. That's my YouTube goals. Let's see here. Infinite bad sound can turn some viewers away, but it depends on the value of the video, but get the better sound you can. Absolutely. If you have bad sound in your videos, you definitely want to try to correct that, because if your sound is bad, it can definitely turn a lot of people off. To be honest, if I open a video, I don't give it the chance to know if there's value. There's so many options out there, right? That's something that we struggle with on YouTube, is there's so many options out there, so many people making content that we're interested in, that this is why visual authority is so important, right? Like if you're making content and when you put that content out and somebody can click on your video and then they see in the sidebar a bunch of other options, which is what happens with every single video. They see a bunch of other options in your sidebar. If your video is not on point, then it's really easy for people to just go, oh, this video, this one isn't up to par to what I was looking for. And then they click on something in the sidebar with the same exact or a similar topic, because that's how YouTube works. They show relevant suggestions to them. So yeah, super important to make sure that your video is as on point as you can make it within the ability that you have. Let's see here. The Social Book says your YouTube goal needs to be Nimmin Nation. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my YouTube goal needs to be just finding a name, right? Spend the next few months finding a name. Speaking of that, I mean, heck, we're 7 months in. We got 5 months left of this year, right? And this month's actually coming to an end. So 2017 is going, it's going quick. It's been a good year. Thomas mentions the Gamernomics, mentioned the Star Wars helmet. Thumbs up for that, by the way. Let's see here. Agreed. How important is a webcam for a gaming channel? That's a great question. I don't think it is a, hey, you have to have one. But on the flip side of that, people connect with people, right? So if you're making gaming videos, and people can actually see you, then you have a greater chance of creating a deeper connection with the people that watch your videos. Might not affect your views, but actually the connection of actually building a community. Let's see here. I use KineMaster on smartphone. Now I want to switch to Windows computer. So any good free softwares, please answer, asks Artistic Treasures. Yeah, absolutely. DaVinci Resolve for Windows. Hit Film Express for Windows, Lightworks for Windows, but I think Lightworks limits you to 720p on your export. So first, I would just look into Hit Film Express and DaVinci Resolve. Diane Galia asks, why don't you do gaming? I game. It's just not on YouTube. My very first... Serena Pearl, my very first video was uploaded in September, I believe. I'm actually going to look right now to confirm. But my very first video was uploaded in September of 2015, I believe. But I'm going to confirm that because a few people have asked in the stream. Let's see here. But yeah, it's but I took one, I wasn't taking the channel seriously when I first started. Two, I completely abandoned the channel for a while, for like 8 or 9 months while I was working on another channel as well. So I came back and I've been doing the channel seriously. I've taken it from 2,000 subscribers to 50,000 subscribers in just a tad over a year. I think maybe 12 months, or 14 months. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll tell you right now the exact day that I uploaded my first video. September 27th, 2014 is when I uploaded the video, not 2015, 2014 was when I uploaded my first YouTube video. But as a total on my channel, and this includes live streams, which I've been doing a lot lately, and for the past few months I've been doing 2 videos and 1 live stream per week. And the total video count on my channel is still only like 126, including this live stream. 126, 127. So just for reference on what's going on growth-wise with the channel. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move into the reviews. Oh, okay, yeah, I want to answer this one real quick too. Diane Galea says, are intros important? No. Intros are not. Like, if you want like a full screen branded, hey, this is my video type of intro, then it's definitely not important. If you're branding yourself, then in some way you want to add some type of branding element there, but it doesn't have to take up the full screen. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes long. Like, you want to keep your intros as short as humanly possible, 3 to 5 seconds if you can pull it off, because the people that come to your channel to watch your videos, they're not there for your intros. They're not there for that stuff. They're there for the actual content that you're going to be delivering to them. Okay, Cutting the Caboose says, I hate when you say no. Can I have a channel reviewed? I have an art channel. I want to know how I can improve my channel. I've been trying to improve my channel for the past 3 months. You're so much of an inspiration. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can you review my channel? My intro was so good. Yeah, Cutting the Caboose, your intro was good. It was an excellent, very pro-looking intro, but just way too long. Way too long. Yeah, if my intro hooks, then yeah, absolutely. Cold opens, hooks, yeah, definitely. That's definitely good practice. But as far as the actual graphical intro, then no, you wanna minimize the time limit on those. And again, I mean, they're not even required. It's just something that we see on YouTube. Like, hey, this is a common thing. The reason I use a logo, that I use an intro for me, is because, like I was talking about earlier, as far as connecting with your target audience. When people come to my channel, it's important that they're impressed by what my videos look like, by the graphics that I have in the videos, by how they sound and things like that, because of the type of content that I create, and that is why I have an intro on mine. On my other channel that I mentioned earlier, my All Our Questions channel, on that one, all I have is a little circle that pops up, right? So I keep the whole thing going. I basically have my hook at the beginning, and then I keep it all going. Hold on, I'm not sure if anybody's had time to get this, so I'm going to do it myself. But yeah, I just keep it all going, and all I do is on the screen, I just have a little logo that pops up. It just goes boop, and then it shows the logo of the channel, and then boo, and then heads back out. So it's not intrusive, it's not annoying. It just pops up just for the sake of branding, and then it's out of there. Clash with Aryan Mobile Gaming says, "Hey Nick, is TubeBuddy safe or not?" Absolutely, TubeBuddy is safe. There were rumors at one point that people's channels got banned because of TubeBuddy and stuff like that. That is not legitimate. TubeBuddy is actually a YouTube approved company. If you go into YouTube services, under their actual YouTube services page, TubeBuddy is listed under or on that page. So you're fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to hop into the review portion of this stream, and we are going to first go to Twitter. And we are going to hop into my notifications and see what is going on here. Okay, so let's see what we can get going on here. Okay, so we're going to open that one. That one's near the top. We're going to go down here in the bottom, open up some of those. Okay, also, let's see here. Congrats. Okay, so we're going to open that one up. Let's keep scrolling down. I like the channel name. That one's definitely getting opened up. See, strong language. Yeah, okay, I can't do that one. Well, actually, if you don't have any strong language on here, hold on. Okay, you don't have any strong language that I can see there. Whoa, holy cow. Whoa, getting bombarded here with autoplays. There we go. So let's see, I've got 3 up. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Okay, I'll definitely go over this one. Okay, that one's for Maddie. You need to watch the live stream. Yesterday is a cheat day and a healthy lifestyle day. Okay, let's see here. We have treated, super helpful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to open this up and click on your channel as long as I can find it. Yes, I can, just because you mentioned the Force. That's always a win. It's okay. Let's see here. What do we got? 144 people in here watching. Make sure real quick that you give this video a thumbs up if you are watching this. Updated some of my channel art. Feel free to check out my aesthetics and give me feedback. Nick, as well as everyone in the chat, congratulations on 50K. So, yep, super chats always go to the top of the list because I would be a jerk if they didn't. Oh, Jimmy Tonga. Okay, cool. Let's see here. What else do we get? Okay, let's open yours up, see if I can find your channel real quick and easy. Okay, so I will click on your channel. So I'm basically getting them queued up here is what's going on. I'm just kind of like slowly blabbing here as I am getting all this stuff queued up. So I can get a nice list going here to get us started, and then I'll come back through and do another an additional round. And keep in mind, I just want to I have to make sure that I say this as well, that just so you know, let me retweet this real quick. Just so you know, the reviews that I'm getting ready to do, these are surface level reviews, right? This is by no means is this an in-depth channel evaluation. If you want one of those, I have information about that down in the description below. Shoot me an email. But these are in no way in-depth channel evaluations. What these are is basically like a surface level review, or it'd probably be better to say like a first impression, right? And I know a lot of people, they request the reviews because they want them on the screen and stuff like that, which is cool too. But sure, I'll open this one. But I just want to let you know that, as far as, the depth that I go here, it's just a surface level, just a quick surface level review. And for whatever reason, this one's not opening. Okay, there we go. Okay, all caps. Definitely turning that one off. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Paul, I am looking for yours, my friend, but I do not see a link here. Let's see. Oh, I think I found one here. Okay, so here is the first list. Oh, no, that didn't do it. That also didn't do it. There we go. Okay, so here is the... Oh, man, I just did it again. Okay, so we're getting close. Make sure that you are sharing this out, that you're tweeting this. Make sure that you're giving this video a thumbs up as I am digging into these topics here, these channels here. Okay, good. Okay, so first one on the list is Capcades. Let me transition into that. Boom, Capcades. Okay, so Capcades, crazy Let's Plays. Okay, so your channel art looks cool. You upload on Saturdays and Sundays. That is good. You let them know, what it is that you're doing. Your avatar, even though it looks cool, it's extremely vague. So if you're doing gaming videos, I would put like a gaming face or something like that in there to connect with the type of content it is that you're making. You've only been rolling for a week, so congratulations on starting up on YouTube. I'm going to be one of your subscribers. Maybe your first. I don't know if you have any subscribers yet, but if not, then I am your first. And we just got that here on the live stream. So, yeah, so here, yeah, like, since you're just starting out, just as a heads up, I would add some type of branding to your thumbnails because I'll go into more in depth of why here in just a little bit. But these right here, I would definitely update your thumbnails just to add a little bit of branding somewhere so that people can recognize it as your content. Okay, that was a really fast one because of because it's a brand new channel. So next, we're gonna pull this one up on the screen. And hello? Hey, dude, I'm on a live stream right now. I'll call you back. All right, bye. Okay, so that was a friend of mine just traveling. He just left here. He lives near me. He was heading to his home in Canada, and I'm guessing that he's had some issues along the way, and I'm guessing that's probably why he called. Okay, so next up on the list here is Maddie M. Maddie, are you still in the house? Go ahead and drop a chat in here real quick if you are still in the house. If you're still watching the stream. Love your channel art, by the way. I know there's a delay here, so I'm going to give this just a few seconds. You know what? I'll actually go into it. If he's here, that's cool. If not, then, in that case, then, you guys will at least get, the info from what I'm getting ready to say here. Okay, so to start, your personal driver, yes, indeed. I will open you up as well. But let me get him on here first. Okay, so first off, to me, just as a first impression here, it looks like you are doing some type of maybe like guitar tutorials, maybe mixed with some anime stuff is what I'm seeing here. One thing that I would recommend, because that's kind of my overview, so I'm not really sure if that's what it is that you are doing or not, but here where you say subscribe for new videos, be specific here, right? So like whatever type of content it is that you make, which I'm still trying to figure out, whatever type of content it is that you make, I would just be specific here to what it is. So like instead of subscribe for new videos, I would say subscribe for new guitar videos or new if you're doing anime covers, I guess, subscribe for new anime covers every Wednesday and Saturday or something along those lines. And if you can't summarize the type of content that you're doing, then in that case that I would put a few highlights of the type of content that you're making. But besides that, though, your actual art looks awesome. I love how it looks. Channel trailer, which is good. One thing that I would recommend here to you as well, which I started to recommend on that new channel that I showed a minute ago, is to make sure, especially you, because you have 16,000 subscribers right now, it's really important that, and I say this in all my streams, but because this is my first time seeing you in one of my streams, I'm gonna explain it again. But basically, it's really important, like what you're doing here, right? You see how you have your reaction here, you have your reaction here. That's good, because if somebody watches this video, right, or a subscriber of yours, right, they see this video here on your channel, and then they see this video pop up on their homepage a week later, and they're like, oh, I remember, I clicked on this and I watched this video before, and then they see this pop up on their home screen or on their homepage, and then they click on this, then they see this and they liked your content previously, then they're more inclined to click on this. However, if they are a subscriber of yours and this video pops up, then they're less likely to click on this because they don't know that it's your content. There's nothing that identifies right out of the gate at a glance. That's what we're working with here. At a glance, that it's your content. Like as an example, right? If you go to your homepage, you'll see channel names, you'll see titles and things like that. But if you look at how YouTube actually structures everything, right? Like they say, or they don't say, but the thumbnail's the biggest thing, right? Because we're visual creatures as human beings. So the thumbnail's the biggest thing. The second biggest item on a homepage is the actual title itself. And then after the title, then you have your view count and all of that. And then your actual channel name as far as the actual size is concerned. So basically what that means is that your actual channel name is one of the least important things that they display, right? So that's why it's really important to get that glance angle worked into your thumbnails, to where basically if somebody is into your content, this is who this is for. If somebody is into your content already and any of your other videos get served up to them on their homepage, if they are into your content, they are more likely to click on that content. If they see it in the suggested sidebar and they click on it because YouTube is recommending it to them, when that pops up, then basically what happens is they say, oh, I like this person's content. I recognize this person's content, so I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go and watch their video that they just uploaded. And what happens from there is that helps actually get your view velocity on your video kickstarted, which can help YouTube actually push you out more into the platform. And actually internally promote you a little bit more than they are currently doing. So this, by making your thumbnails recognizable to the people that are already into your content, it can make a huge difference on your channel. Like if you look at what I do on my thumbnails, because my channel is growing at a pretty solid rate. If you look at what I'm doing on my thumbnails, the same thing. I put my face there, and I use the same style with every thumbnail that I upload, because I want that pattern recognition. I want people that are into my content, when my videos show up and they see it, I want them to click on it and come in and watch the video, right? Like having good looking thumbnails is one thing, but making your thumbnails identifiable to the people that are into your content is huge. Because here's how it works, right? Like in this actually in the deep neural networks paper that came out, they even mentioned that if your thumbnail is being presented to people, right, like in a suggested sidebar, and people are not clicking on it, if YouTube is saying, we recommend you watch this video, right, if it comes up underneath the recommended tab to people that are already into your content, if that comes up and people are not clicking on it, according to that paper, then what's going to happen is every page load that people are not clicking on it that are already a fan of yours, then basically what's going to happen is your content's going to start getting demoted from suggested videos. So it's super important that you make your stuff recognizable to the people that are into your content, for the sake of generating those clicks and generating those views when they come in, because your stuff looks cool, right? Like your thumbnails look cool, but you can't really recognize them all as your content. So super important. You said you were working on this, so I'm kind of beating the dead horse, but I'm doing that, for your sake, and I'm doing it because a lot of people are watching the stream right now that may not know how important that is. That's why I'm kind of going on and on about it. But another thing too is because you are doing, it looks like what I'm guessing that you do here is that you do covers of, different stuff. So I think another thing as well is, how you have here Unravel guitar cover. That's cool. Like I would put a lot of emphasis on your you are doing this, especially in your newer stuff, but make sure that you're using imagery that matches the content that you're making as well, right? Because that's another thing that helps people. It helps the current people that are into your channel identify that it's yours. And another thing that happens is YouTube also shows your content to people, especially, you have 16,000 subscribers right now, rolling up on 17,000. Congratulations on the progress, by the way. But basically what happens is YouTube will show your content to people that have a similar watch history to you, right? So what that means is by using imagery that is also related to the content you make, then when they show that content, when they show those thumbnails to people that have a similar watch history to the people that are subscribed to your channel, then they are also going to be more inclined to click on your thumbnails. So I hope that was helpful. Hope that was helpful for you. Okay, next up on the list, we are going to go with your personal driver. Okay, so your personal driver, his thumbs look great. Yeah, his thumbs look awesome. But they definitely need to be dialed in just a little bit. But I mean, they look great. He just needs to focus a little bit more on the imagery and on the recognition, and then he's totally good to go. Okay, here on your personal driver, Uber Lyft driver live streams Friday and Saturdays, helpful tips every Monday. Your personal driver, Uber and Lyft. Yeah, okay, so you made it identifiable to the type of content you're making. But one thing that is still unclear when I'm looking at this, because you said that you were making some changes to your art. One thing that's still unclear here is you have Uber and Lyft and helpful tips every Monday. Driver live streams Friday and Saturdays. This is implying that that you are a driver, but it doesn't say if you're making this content for people that use these services or for people that actually provide these services. So it's not clear once you actually start looking at your content. It is, but again, you're going for that whole at a glance thing, right? You want to make it super easy to understand. So here, you're so close. so close. So yeah, I would just make it a tad more clear. Like here where you have helpful tips, just expand that out just a tad and say helpful tips for rideshare providers, or however you want to word that for where people in your industry will connect with that, but just make it a little bit more clear than what you have right now. But yeah, you're super close. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna hop in the chat before we go on here. Okay, Nick Atwell, I got you, my friend, because you're in here I think every weekend. So yeah, I got you. I'm just opening you up right now. I'm already subscribed here, so I think that I have been on your channel before, but that's cool. But yeah, I just added you to the list. Let's see here. Hi, Nick. Congrats on 50K. Andrew Edwards. What is going on, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, dude. The intro I made myself. The actual the graphics for it I did, and that song is mine as well. Cuz back way back in the day, I used to make instrumentals, and I would have, I had some rapper friends and stuff, and they would come over, and I had like a home studio and stuff. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool time in my life. But yeah, we made the music for that also. Okay, let's see here. On the chat here, I'm just hopping in real quick to see if there are any questions that popped up about the few channels that I've looked at so far. Another thing that I want to say is, if you're watching the live stream, when I pull these channels up, if they are, if there's something that you think about the channels that I pull up, it's important that you mention it. Say, hey, I think, hey, your art is confusing, or hey, your artwork looks great, or hey, the imagery doesn't match, or hey, you know, like whatever it is, whatever your personal thoughts are, it adds a lot more value to the people that are getting their channels looked at if they have input from all of us instead of just me specifically. Just because, you know, there's my first impression and then there's your first impression as well. And, you know, sometimes we see things a little bit differently. So, like, I base my stuff on history, you know, working with clients and stuff that I've tested on my own channel as well. But, you know, there's also just general user experience, which is also extremely important. Let's see here. Nick, you should show my awesome channel art. It's made by an artist. I think I got you up in the last one. Let's see here. Mike's Game World says, Nick, vidIQ or TubeBuddy? Both. Both are very valuable and very helpful. Personally, I use the free version of vidIQ and I use the paid version of TubeBuddy, but both have different different things that you can use to, you know, to get insights into different things that you might look into on your channel or other people's channels. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. I'm glad you like it, man. Yeah, I have a literally like a hard drive full of songs that we put together. I've considered, because I don't talk to those guys anymore, but I've considered reaching out to them and saying, hey, you know, we should put your stuff on SoundCloud or, you know, something like that. Just because now, you know, I'd be able to give them the exposure a little bit that they weren't able to get, you know, when we were making that stuff. We actually, Andrew, you'll probably appreciate this. I don't know what the age bracket here is for the chat, but 2 Live Crew, who is a you know, like an older band. I don't even know what you would call the genre, if you would actually call that hip hop or not back then. But we actually got to perform on stage. One guy couldn't make it, and I actually got to perform on stage as well with and opening up for 2 Live Crew, which was pretty cool. But that was all with our, you know, with 100% original music that we created in my studio. But yeah, 2 Live Crew, like that's probably dating me for my age there. Okay, so enough of that. Let's go into the next channel review. Okay, so the next channel review here is Hippie Swift. Like your name, by the way. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a good time. It ended up working out because, like, the and this is in response to Andrew here, it ended up working out that we got to do that because the person that was originally supposed to do it, or the group that was originally supposed to do it, they weren't able to for whatever reason. And like the person that was managing the show or whatever, they happened to know like a person that knew the guys that were rapping on the stuff, and they reached out and they're like, hey, you know, we're in this situation. Can you guys do it tomorrow night? And we're like, yeah, you know. And yeah, it was crazy. Andrew Can, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you in here. And thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate it. Okay, so Hippie Swift, here we go. New videos every week, bicycle touring, camping, gear reviews, useful information, and tips. That is definitely good. Right here, you have Hippie Swift Productions for me personally. And let me know what you think in the chat as well. But for me personally, my eyeballs go right to this, which is the least important thing on the channel right now. So, yeah, it's Can. It's Andrew Can. If like when I look at this, my eyeballs go right to that green. So I think it would be more valuable for you to, you know, again, for that, you know, glancing at the channel thing, it would be more valuable for you to actually make this stand out more than this right here. So that's one. Let's see here. Yeah, your imagery definitely matches your topics, which is good. Yeah, in your case too, you know, I'm real big on the branding thing, if you haven't noticed. So I would definitely, without question, I would definitely do something with your thumbnails to connect them all. I see that you actually started to do that here. So I would definitely, you know, kind of keep that up. But again, you know, well, wait, you started to do it. Okay, yeah, so you have it on some of them and you don't have it on others. But yeah, I would do something. It can be this at the bottom. Technically, you don't even need to put your name on it. You can just have, you know, something specific to you down there in the bottom. Maybe your, you know, your mountain scene or this whole little scene right here. have that down there in the bottom or just something, kind of like you're doing right here. That would actually be perfect. How you're doing that, for people to connect with your content. People that actually watch your stuff. So yeah, same thing. The thumbnails, definitely that. I would definitely work on this up here. You're close though. You're really close. Another thing, and this is just me being picky. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a deal. But I would also like capitalize your T there, capitalize your N here. That kind of stuff. It's just like little detail things as far as making the channel look a little bit more professional. It's not a requirement by any means, but it's just a personal recommendation just to kind of help make it look a little bit more like you care. I'll just say it that way. Like same thing here with your titles. I would type them out like in like you. I don't want to say like you don't or like you care because I'm sure that you do care. And you might be doing this as like a stylistic choice, which is cool. But I would still at least capitalize the first letter. Okay, next up on the list, and then we'll go and grab some more. Nick Atwell. All right, Nick. Welcome to the official channel of It's Nick Atwell. New gaming videos every Tuesday and Thursday. That is good. I would add some type of color to this to kind of pull it down there because this part right here is the most important. With that said, you do have your imagery here showing that it is games, so you're definitely on the right path there. But I would just draw a little bit more attention to this. But you're there. I mean, this is fine. But me personally, I would just recommend that you just add just a little bit to this down here on the bottom. And let me know in the chat. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that that this should draw a little bit of attention? JC Echo says that he thinks that your profile picture can be better. So I personally like your profile picture. I think that it's good because you're showing a face, which is good. You're looking directly at the camera, which is also good. People connect with that. And you're showing a game controller, which shows that it's gaming. I'm not sure how this shows up in a round profile picture, which if I went back through here and I started looking through the chat, I would be able to find you. But I'm not sure if you can actually tell that it's a gaming controller on a circle profile picture. But I do think that your profile picture, as far as looking at the camera, showing a face and showing the game controller, is definitely on the right path. Let's see here. Yeah, how you're doing your thing on your thumbnails here, that is also good. Oh, you're 725 subs now. Congratulations. This I like. With your face on there, definitely like that a lot. And the reason for that is because people definitely, they connect with faces. So I really like this a lot. But if you're not doing that type of video, for all your videos, then I think what you're doing here with your branding mark on here on the side, that's all you need for people to be able to connect. Your overall branding is definitely loose because you're focusing around the style of the game, which works because you have this element here. But dialing all of that in would definitely help. Because it's that whole pattern recognition thing. But what you're doing here, we're gonna label that as good enough, so to speak. As far as your artwork is concerned. And again, this is a surface level thing, right? So this is all at a glance. Okay, as a side note, here you have, hey there, welcome to my channel, which is good. You're leaving an introduction, but just keep in mind that you want to optimize this right here because you get 153 characters to work with as far as your hover card. So just make sure that you have this, the information that's important for viewers to see. Make sure that it's enticing and that you're using that 153 characters wisely to entice people that use the hover card as something to decide if they should actually click and come watch the channel or not. And hey, I'm offended that I'm not in your awesome people list. I'm just kidding. I'm not. It's totally cool. Don't worry about it. Okay, so. Okay, so now I'm going to hop back in the chat here for a second, and then we will go for another round. Another round. We're going for another round. Holy cow, marathon stream. Absolutely, Creator Fundamentals. Dan, that is how I roll, my friend. Marathon streams. Okay, so let's see here. Let me hop in the stream here real quick. Mikey Shattuck, what is going on? Nice to see you in here. I think I have you. No, I don't have you open here. That was a different. Mic I think that I was looking at before. So I'm just hopping in here real quick, just see what's going on in the stream. Nick, the only thing I didn't like with sometimes his bottom text. Whoa, that just kind of got lost in the thing there. His bottom text clashed with the timestamp, but it was great overall. Yeah, that's good input there, Andrew. I actually didn't even notice that. I'm rolling up on like 11:15 here, so my brain's kind of fizzing out here a little bit. But yeah, I'm glad that you noticed that and that you were able to toss that into the chat. So it's Nick Atwell. Andrew can mention that the only thing that he didn't like was that that sometimes the bottom of your text clashed with the timestamp on your thumbnails. So one thing you can do to get around that as well, thanks, man, I appreciate it. One thing you can do to get around that as well is when you are, when you're doing the layout of what's important on your videos, like one habit that I'm in, and I recommend to everybody, is to put your text on the left and then any imagery on the right-hand side so that that timestamp has enough, space around it. It doesn't get cut off anywhere or obstruct what it is that you're doing. Okay, so, oh, look at this. Nice. Okay, Jimmy Changa, you are up next on the list. Okay, Jimmy Changa, here is what we got. Snakari, I read the questions indeed. Absolutely, I do. But hey, appreciate the profanity. It's funny. Okay, so yeah, here first off, I just want to go ahead and say that I'm biased when I look at your channel because of the Stormtrooper stuff that I see at a glance, right? Because like how my brain responds to this is, oh, Stormtrooper, right? That's how my brain responds to your channel when I open up your channel page. So for me, because of that, I'm biased, but I'm going to try to be unbiased and look at it that way. Hey, this looks familiar, by the way. Okay, so anime and games, bam. Enjoy pop culture, okay? Subscribe, little arrow heading over there. Hang out and let's talk anime. That's cool. Clever way to do that. What you're doing here, definitely good. Gives them a nice little symbol that they can recognize. I would just make sure that it stands out. Like on these, it stands out for sure. That's clever how you put it behind the head there. So just make sure on all of them that it's easily identifiable. Yeah, love that picture, by the way. Wow, that's an awesome picture. Here you say anime and games, enjoy pop culture. I'm guessing that you're saying that you make that you also make pop culture content, which you do. It looks like down here, which is cool. For all of your playlists, for the sake of discoverability, definitely make sure that you are adding descriptions to all of your playlists. If you don't know how to do that, all you have to do in your case is click on the name of your playlist, and it's going to open up your page for that playlist, and then click on like you'll see where your actual title is for the playlist, and then underneath that there's going to be a little option with a pencil on it where you can click on it for to add an actual description, and you do it there. Oh, hey, look at that! I'm over here in the sidebar too. Nice, made my evening. Thank you. So with yours, how you have this on here to make it known that it's your stuff is good. How you're doing this, you're forcing them to read your titles, which is okay. For me personally, because I'm a visual browser on YouTube, and this is why I stress the visual stuff so much, is because I'm a visual browser. For me, I would probably scan right over this, unless I was into anime, of course, which is who your target audience is. But for me personally, I would look at this and I would say, hey, it doesn't say anything on here. So for me personally, I would probably skip right over this, even if it was speaking to me, unless I had a crush on that particular character or something like that, since you're talking about the hottest female anime characters. Let's see here. I would click on this just because the Stormtrooper. But yeah, okay, yeah. For you, my tip this time, because I know you were pulled up last time too. So my tip for you this time is to go through and make sure that you add descriptions to your playlists. All right. So next up on the list, you know, it's talking about a marathon stream. Oh, I'm only 2 hours and 44 minutes into it. We're just getting started. Not really, but you know, this is an special. Yeah, bias level 9. I would put that at Dollar Dude. I would put that at bias level 10. We're not going with 9 here. We're going with bias level 10. Stormtroopers and me in the sidebar. Of course, I'm going to be easy, right? I'm choosing who to review. I went to Twitter, and of course, you know, super chats always take priority. And in your case, Andrew, if you want me to hit your channel, just let me know, dude. Just say it. You know what? I'll actually open you up right now, and I'll just go there anyway. Hope you don't mind. But I'll add you to the list as well. Okay, so I'm actually going to go and I'm going to interview another channel, and then 50 hours for 50,000 subscribers. Ah, that's a good one, Social Brook. Okay, so here I'm going to pull up Andrew. So for those of you that do not know, he has here, you know, see me on TubeBuddy, and this is because Andrew is a part of TubeBuddy. So just so you know what's going on there as far as, you know, the type of channel that he has put together here, and, you know, how he is, you know, titling his stuff and all that stuff. Like, he has insight into what's going on YouTube. Okay, so for Andrew, film travel motivation, bam. Found on, or as seen on We Can Game and TubeBuddy, bam. So for you, you know, the focus is on your name, which is cool, but, you know, your eye also falls real easy on the film travel and motivation. That's good. So it's clear here, film travel and motivation, that you are definitely on a vlog of sorts. How your faces in the video, that is fantastic. But one thing that I would highly recommend, just like I do on all of these, is that you do something to tie your content together. Because like here, your Disneyland video, like there's nothing there to say that that's your video. So I would do something to tie your content together. Like here, how you're doing the AK up in the top corner. If that was just a little bit more visible, right, and then you put it on here as well, then that, you know, if it was something a little bit more identifiable, and then you had it up there as well, then that would help people recognize your content when it gets tossed up on their home pages and stuff like that. Same thing here. Even though you're using this as a descriptive thing for your adventures instead of, you know, something that you're trying for the sake of discovery, I would still add a description here as well. Your short films. Yeah, even on your short films, man, like I would definitely add just some type of branding element here. Like once your channel gets bigger and things like that, it's still important, but, you know, you can get away with not doing that stuff, you know, as much, but just those little details can kind of help get the ball rolling, so to speak. So, you know, it's like in your case, if like, you know, like with your channel, I don't know if you're trying to grow the channel or not, is something like, hey, you know, I'm serious about this YouTube channel. But if you are, then I would definitely recommend adding some type of branding element there. Let's see here. Yeah, I would also get into the habit of adding more playlists as well. This is something I also slack on, just because everything's going good, and, you know, I could make it better, but, you know, I focus more on client stuff than I do on my own. So I think that adding more playlists, you know, getting into the habit of that is also good practice. That's good. Nailing that one right there. Filmmaker who likes to tell stories. Channel focuses on my passion for both filming and traveling throughout the world. Yeah, I would do a character count on that too. I think that will fit. Just at a glance here, I think that will fit into the hover card, so you should be good there. Oh, and I'm in your sidebar. Awesome. yeah, the bias on this is just getting crazy. Loving it. So yeah, so hey, if you're watching this stream right now, if you are a TubeBuddy user and you are interested in vlog style content and you know what's going on at events and things like that, definitely right now, you know what, I'm actually going to paste his URL into the chat box here. You can also click on his name, but definitely head over and subscribe to Andrew's channel, because you know I watch his videos from time to time, and he actually does put out entertaining content as well. So definitely go over there and check him out if you're into vlog style content and you like to know what's going on at events and things like that. Okay, next up on the list. Give me 1 second here. Butterfly Planner. Are you in the house, Yuri? I got you. You are on the list. Haven't gotten there yet, though. Butterfly Planner. Are you in the house? Paging Butterfly Planner. Paging Butterfly Planner. Andrew, my pleasure, dude. Andrew, did you see the video that Jen made? It's a parody video of me. Did you see that by any chance? Super, super funny. From Jen's Adventures, aka the Piano Girl. A hilarious video. I posted it on my Twitter. You know what? I'm actually, let me see. It's actually, you know what? It's on my channel page as well. Man, I just did the YouTuber again. Man, thank God for antivirus software. Holy cow. Yeah, and it's funny because she mentioned TubeBuddy in there too, because what she did was, because I'm always referencing TubeBuddy. So what she did is she said, basically she does an impression of me, and I'm not gonna blow any of the rest of it, but she does an impression of me, and there's one part in there where she's like, she gets up close to the screen and she says something about like TubeBuddy, and then she's like, oh, and make sure you use TubeBuddy, and that's not something that I have to say, you know, kind of like in a sarcastic way. And then she gets up close to the camera and she's like, help me, please. You know, it's hilarious. Like the whole video, as a whole is really, really funny. But yeah, anybody interested in watching that, if you go to my channel page and you scroll down to YouTube collaborations, I enjoyed the video so much that I put it in there as well. And I'm actually going to go ahead and drop a link to that video here, so you can open it up in a new window. I just dropped it into chat there, so you can open it up in a new window and watch that when you get the chance to, because it is, for me anyway, and it's not just because it's about me, it's because of how she actually put it together and the detail that she paid attention to, that I thought it was hilarious. Okay, so let's see here. Butterfly Planner. Were they in here or did they bail? Butterfly Planner. Okay. Mike's Game World. Are you in here? I'm looking for Butterfly Planner, Mike's Game World, or Hinch. Hinch Herbivore. Any of you in here? And we're starting right now again. Yeah, hilarious. Okay, Mike's Game World and Butterfly Planner. All got it. Okay, so I'll be opening you guys up in order there. So Butterfly Planner. And I'm looking for Herbivore as well. Hinch Herbivore. Okay, so I see you, Butterfly Planner. I got you. I got you. Okay, so we're going to do Butterfly Planner first while we are waiting for the others. Okay, so here is the Butterfly Planner channel. Okay, Butterfly Planner, when I look at your channel, it's not clear to me what is going on, like what it is that you do. So I would definitely try to clear that up here in your channel art so that it's clear to glance. It's good that you have a channel trailer here, But if this does not go into, because I'm not playing your trailer, but if this does not go into what it is that you offer on your channel as soon as that autoplay starts, I see you, Mike's Game World, and Hinch Herbivore. Okay, I've got you coming up as well. After this one is Mike's and then Hinch, and then we're going to go and open up some more. So basically on yours here, because like when I land on your channel page, unless you say it as soon as your trailer opens, the type of content that you make, I don't know what type of content that you have on your channel at a glance, right? Until I start scrolling and looking around and trying to figure it out. But the idea here with all of this stuff, and the reason that I stress on this so much and I try to, make people aware of this, is because sometimes people are at work and they're looking around for things that they can watch later. Sometimes people are looking around and they'll land on a channel page, and because it doesn't look a certain way or whatever, then they'll bail. Right? Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll scroll and, all of that. But you increase your chances of success when you make everything that you're doing easy as possible to understand. Right? If you make it for all of you, every single person that lands on your channel page, you want it to be super clear what it is that you're doing. So even in your channel trailer, if you say in here what it is that you do, even for the people that are at work or they're looking around for stuff to add to their watch later playlist, if it's not clear up here, then you might miss people. And right now you're at 2,000 subscribers, so you might miss some people. You might miss a lot of people, depending on how many people are coming into your channel, depending on how many views that you are getting. So super important to put the type of content that you make up into your channel header. And again, it's on that visual authority thing too. The more pro all of your stuff looks, the more organized it looks, the easier it is to understand, the better off you're going to be. How you're doing this here on your sidebar, that's cool and that's clever with because it blends in with the sidebar there. The only place that's going to work against you is on the dark theme, because with the new layout that YouTube has on your dark theme, this is going to look a little bit weird. But the fact that you actually have it in there and that you have your name in there is definitely a positive, so you are on the right track there. One thing that I would do as well, your top 10 videos that you have in this playlist, none of these have that branding stuff in there, right? And if these are your top videos, as long as your velocity on these are still positive, then, oh, here you go. You have it in one, actually. As long as your velocity on these are still positive, you also want people to be able to recognize this older content as yours as well. Like for me, I have kind of, and this might be something, that you're doing too, because you have, 2 years, 4 years, 2 years, 2 years. You might be doing the thing where you are, where you are not branding like after a certain date for the, to where you can say, okay, well, at this point forward, I started taking it seriously, which is cool. That's totally okay. But eventually you want to go back and update these thumbnails. I'm in the same boat. I have like that visual indicator of when I started taking the channel seriously versus when I wasn't. And there's an obvious difference on my channel page when you go through my video library of when that transition happened. But because of how the channel is doing right now, a lot of my older content is getting promoted out across the platform as well. And because of that, I have to go back and re-update those thumbnails so that the people that are into my content, when that is presented to them, then they can, make sure to click on it and watch that content as well. Yeah, Costume Cinematographer says that the thumbnails are cute and she likes the colors. I also like the colors and I agree that they're cute. One thing that I would do, though, is like here, the plan with me text is hard to read on this background, right? Because it's like a lighter color and it's, oh, I forgot that I have this. There we go. Woo. Okay, so the text here is hard to read on that light background. And with the drop shadow that you have on there, that's also kind of muddying up the text. And I'm guessing that you did that so that it does stand off a little bit from the background. But it would have been a better move to just use a different color to make that stand out a little bit better. But yeah, like how you're doing your branding stuff, that is definitely good. Even because you do use a lot of on thumbnail text, you are syncing everything up as far as your fonts and stuff are concerned. It looks like for the most part here, this isn't. But again, you know, this is on your older stuff, so I'm not sure if you're making some type of transition right now. I'm not for sure if that's what's going on or not. But yeah, so basically, I would definitely do those things. It looks like Owen Video is also subscribed to your channel, which is cool. Owen and I do a podcast called the Business of Video Podcast. So if you are in a business of any kind and you want to learn how to use video in your business, then make sure that you make sure that, one, you head over and subscribe to Owen Video. Two, that if you have an iTunes account or a Stitch account or anything like that, that you Google for the Business of Video Podcast. And I also put a link to that in the description of all my videos as well. But yeah, you got TubeBuddy on here. You got me in the sidebar, Schmoobies, video creators. Yeah, good stuff going on in your sidebar here. That's cool. Thank you. My goal is to show you how to decorate your planner so that it's functional, cute, and affordable. I want to get the best use out of your stickers and planner. Okay, yeah, this is cool. Again, you know, make sure that you have your character account optimized here. As long as all of this fits into your hover card, you're solid. If it gets cut off, though, you may want to adjust it just to make it a little bit more, to make it make a little bit more sense, but I'm pretty sure this is going to fit. Okay, so I'm going to go back onto here while I transition this. And real quick, if you're enjoying the information that is coming from these reviews, if you are finding any of this stuff valuable in any way, shape, or form, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up so that so I know you're digging the content, so I know that you are enjoying the live stream. Okay, Butterfly Planner, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for sharing on Twitter. Okay, next up on the list is Hinch Herbivore. Personal training, vegan nutrition, awesome. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, awesome. So yeah, the header, and you have the imagery that matches what you're talking about. Nailed it on the header. Oh, 13,000 subscribers. Congratulations on your subscriber count, by the way. Explore List says I'm checking, Darren over at Explore List says I'm checking my channel to the tips that you offer on the reviews. Very helpful. That's awesome to hear. Thank you. Niav, I think I say that right this time. Niav says, thank you for doing these reviews, Nick. It's my pleasure. I enjoy doing this stuff. You know, like I said before, I'm obsessed with all of this stuff. So it's my pleasure to hop in here and look at channels and give some tips. You know, like, you know, this video is my 50,000 subscriber celebration. And, you know, video, I mean, I'm making an actual video for it too, but as far as the live stream is concerned, and I wouldn't have those 50,000 subscribers if it wasn't for you. So, you know, this is my way of giving back. This is my way of, saying thank you to those of you that watch my videos. Okay, so on yours, yeah, channel header, nailing it. One thing I noticed on your trailer here, just as a side note, is I'm not sure if that's going to play through or not, to where you can hear it in the live stream, but I would definitely, let's see here. Okay, you uploaded this a year ago, so I'm actually going to play one of these here, because I noticed your audio on that one. I'm going to turn it down. I don't want to have any, like, weird violation thing going on here. Skipping video 1 second. Okay, so you just got an ad play. Okay. Okay, so this one sounds a little bit better. What I was going to recommend on the other one was that your audio on this, I would definitely recommend getting like a little lavalier. You can even get a cheap lavalier mic that connects to your shirt. Basically, the idea, and I'm going to pull you back up on screen, but I'm just going to illustrate this. The idea is that you want your, I'm looking to see if I have a little mic laying around. The idea is that you want to get the microphone as close to you as possible so that it picks up your voice so that you have more presence in the video. Like in that my vegan journey video, and really with your video that you uploaded 3 days ago as well, um, it could the sound can definitely use a little bit of an improvement. So you can get nice lavaliers as well. But it sounds like you're making the video with like a mic on top of the camera, or maybe even the built-in microphone on the camera. It'll make a huge difference in your production quality if you can get that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, or if you're not currently using a microphone, if you got one and you attached it to your shirt, or if you got a lavalier that you could attach to your shirt and then plug it into your phone and then sync the audio in post or something like that, would make a huge difference in your production quality. Okay, so from there, what you're doing in your thumbnails here, definitely on the right track there. So you're nailing that. The imagery is a perfect fit for the content that you're making. One thing that you want to do, and you're doing it here, but just make sure that you are adding descriptions to all of your playlists, because that helps in discoverability, as well as helping people, have a little bit more depth as far as what's going on in the playlist. That also helps with your discoverability. Another thing that I would recommend as well is somewhere on your channel page in one of these playlist spots is I would add. Hold on, let me see what you're doing with your playlist real quick. Okay, you have a lot of playlists. So what I would do is I would put together some playlists, right? Some like whichever videos perform well for you in terms of watch time, right? Put those videos into some separate playlists, kind of like you're doing right here, but actually put a grid of playlists here, recommended playlists on the specific topics. So basically you would have, like let's say like you have your eatings and vlogs playlist here, right? So what you would do is you would have, here, I'll actually go to my channel page to show you what I mean. Yeah, if you look right here, right? So basically like you land on the channel page, and then right here, I have recommended playlists. And then this is YouTube tips for beginners, how to use OBS Studio, YouTube money making, YouTube equipment, tools, and resources. Basically, playlists that playlists that will kind of that speak to the people that are on your channel, right? So basically, you organize them into your playlists, right? And then you put that grid somewhere on your channel page. And then by doing that, what you're going to do is you're going to make it easier for people to come in and binge watch your content, right? So the same thing happens here. Like if they hover over and they hit play on here, they're good there. But in addition to that, if you organize it this way, then basically what you're doing is you're saying, hey, here's additional playlists, right, that are different from what you're doing here, which I still sync them up here because these do well for me. But if you do additional playlists for what it is that they're wanting to watch, then you can get a lot of binge watching happening by doing that. Okay. So yeah, there's some quick tips for your channel. And then I will go out here. Chris, Legion of Weirdos. Christopher from Legion of Weirdos in the house. Nice to see you on the stream, my friend. Wow, this dude does way better channel critiques than that Daryl Eves guy. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, and real quick, and I have to give this shout out, and it's not because he just gave me a $5 super chat. I'm giving the shout out because it's genuine and I actually mean it. In my opinion, Christopher is the Legion of Weirdos channel is one of the most underrated, funny channels on YouTube. His sense of humor is off the charts. I absolutely love the content that Christopher makes over there at Legion of Weirdos. I'm actually going to open his channel up here just so that you can see it, because if you are into funny videos of weirdos, if you're into funny content, I just did that the hard way. I could have just clicked on your channel name. But if you're into funny content, this channel is absolutely hilarious. This is the channel right here. As you can see here, I've got the bell notification clicked also on here. I mean, absolutely hilarious content and hilarious point of view that he makes on his on his channel. Just gut-splitting hilarious stuff. So if you like to laugh, and I don't know who doesn't like to laugh, but if you like to laugh, make sure that you head over to Legion of Weirdos right here, just like that, and you check out his channel because it is awesome, awesome stuff over there. Huge fan of what Christopher is doing on his channel. Okay. Now we will move on to, let me pop this out here real quick. Now we're going to move on to Yuli. Okay. On your channel, Yuli Armstrong, ArmstrongFamilyBlog.com, motherhood, beauty, lifestyle, a little bit of wanderlust. I love the design of your channel art. On my monitor that I'm using, I'm on a Samsung monitor. It's a pretty big monitor, but it's and the colors are accurate and things like that on it because of the type of work that I do. But this part right here is kind of difficult to read if you're trying to brand the name. This is a little bit easier, but you see this light spot right back here, how it becomes a little bit difficult to read. I would do something back there, maybe put just a little bit of a shading back there if you're making these yourself. Put a little bit of shading back there just to darken that up. And maybe one thing that you could do here, I'm not sure if you're using Photoshop for these or what you're using, but you could basically put a drop shadow, and then instead of it looking like a normal drop shadow to where it kind of gives that 3D look, you basically just soften the drop shadow, and then what that will do is that will kind of put like a, I don't want to say a glow, but it puts kind of like oh, you do it in Canva. Okay. So in that case, you probably won't be able to do that. But I would just do something then, maybe in the actual photograph itself before you load it into Canva, do something to help these stand out just a tad. But besides that, it looks cool and it's clear. You're doing motherhood stuff, beauty stuff, and lifestyle stuff. Totally clear. And you also have your blog URL on there, which shows that, hey, you're trying to drive traffic to your website as well. And actually what you did right here, how you actually have it sticking out and then it kind of goes and blends in with everything else, helps draw attention to your URL too. So that was a very good move there. From there, I have the same thing. Well, one, you got to upload more content, right? So you definitely need to upload more content on a regular basis. Super important that you do that. But you also want to work your branding out as well. And again, it's for that pattern recognition thing that I was talking about earlier. So make sure that you work your branding out and definitely start uploading some more content. So hopefully that was helpful in some way to somebody somewhere. Okay. Mike's Game World. Here we go. We are going to open up Mike's Game World. I think I was actually supposed to do that one next, but I didn't. Had to change a diaper. Oh, nice. Nothing, man. I was just shouting you out. That's all it was. Just shouting you out. I was saying how much I love your stuff. Okay, Mike's Game World, clear that you're making games. Your imagery says, hey, you're making games and all of that. And your actual name also clearly defines the type of content that you're making. So you're nailing it there. Let's see here. Yeah, with you, same thing applies. Super important, that whole branding thing. Everybody watching this live stream right now, super, very important that you do something to make your content, your thumbnails, identifiable to people when they show up on a homepage. Okay, super important, because if you're not doing that, people that are already into your content are going to overlook the content when it's showed to them on the homepage. Because basically, right, like a homepage, you're competing with everything. Hold on, I got to turn the actual camera on for this for the sake of impact, right? Okay, when you're showing up on a homepage, you're competing with all of the other channels that the people that are into your content are into. So it's super important that it is easy for them to recognize the content that you're making, or to recognize your content is your content, so that they can come watch it. Because if there's a grid of, let's say, 8 videos or 10 videos, and 6 of those are easily identifiable as channels that they like to watch, and the other 4 are not, then those other 4 are most likely not getting clicked on, right? Super, super, super important to make your content identifiable. Like you saw when I had Christopher's channel open, right? He has, going across the bottom, Legion of Weirdos. It looks good. It looks professional. And it's super easy to identify. So when his content goes out, when I see it, when it shows up on my homepage, because, you know, like when somebody uploads a video, it doesn't go out to all the subscribers unless the video's performing like crazy good. But when his content shows up on my channel page, I go and watch it because at a glance, I can identify that it's his content. But if all he had was just imagery and he didn't have his Legion of Weirdos on there, then I would overlook his content a lot because it wouldn't have that identifier on there. But because it does, anytime it shows up on my homepage, I go and I watch it. Okay. So back to you real quick, and then I'll move on to another one. But yeah, basically get your branding together. What you're doing here in the corner, you're on the right path, right? Like what you're doing here, you're on the right path with that, but it's still not enough. Like you need to do something that is a lot more identifiable. Like let me see what else you're doing here just for an idea. Okay. So maybe instead of having your whole title spelled out, because if you can see how small that is, right? And it'll be even smaller on a phone and harder to recognize. So if you see how small that is, maybe if you just do like an MJ or an MGW or something like that, to where it's just a little bit easier to read instead of that small text, that might be the better way to go with that. But whatever it is that you go with, I would put it on everything. Okay, next up on the list. Okay, Zombie Feaster. This is a great question. Hi, Nick. I was wondering what you would do about inactive subscribers. A lot of my subscribers are inactive, but I worked hard to get to 1,000, so I don't want to restart my channel. Any tips? If you have subscribers that are inactive, it's not the end of the world. Just keep pushing forward, right? Here's the thing. On every single channel that I have ever looked at myself, you get more views from non-subscribers than you do from actual subscribers. So that's a normal thing, right? So make sure that you don't get caught up on, hey, I've got 1,000 subscribers, but not everybody's coming in and watching my videos. That's a normal thing. And like I was just saying a minute ago, when your video goes live, YouTube doesn't push that video out to every single person that's subscribed to your channel, unfortunately, because that would be awesome if they did, but unfortunately they don't. So just keep in mind, that's why you want your stuff to be identifiable and things like that, because the more that you're generating clicks and the more, once you generate those clicks, that people are actually watching your content, the more it's going to get pushed out to your current subscribers and recommended to people with a similar viewing history as your subscribers. But the more that you're going to pull in and all of that stuff, that's where all of the stuff that I'm talking about right now when I'm doing these first impression reviews, that's why I stress all that stuff so much, and why it's so important is you want people to be clicking on your thumbnails when your content is presented to them, especially the people that are subscribed to your channel. Because if the people that are subscribed to your channel aren't even clicking on your stuff, it's a pretty bad signal, because that's saying, hey, even the people that are into his stuff enough to subscribe are not into his stuff enough to even click on it and watch it. They'd rather watch somebody else instead. Right? So super important. And inactive subscribers are also a common thing for another reason too. In addition to your content not being presented to them, in addition to that, people's interests change. YouTube is a huge platform. 1,000 people is a lot of people. So maybe somebody that subscribed to you 6 months ago, they don't, or they didn't, or maybe they were into whatever it is that you're making then, but, within the last few months, they've just kind of moved on to something else. That's a common thing too. I struggle with that on my channel because there's a huge dropout rate on YouTube, right? So the people that are into my content are content creators, but there is a massive dropout rate on YouTube. People that try to upload, a handful of videos, so they spend a month or two looking around, trying to learn stuff, trying to learn how to do YouTube. But then they're like, what, for whatever reason, this isn't working out. I can't do this, or, they just don't do it. So their interest of hey, I want to learn my YouTube channel is gone, but for whatever reason they stay subscribed, but when the notifications go out, they don't click on them, they don't come in, and they just stay subscribed to my channel, but they're totally inactive because they're not into the content that I make, but they're not turned off enough to actually come in and go through the process of unsubscribing to my channel. So so that's a common thing. If you have people that are inactive, it's not the end of the world. Don't like freak out about it. But I have a video on my channel about how to increase engagement, which is activity. So you might want to go and check out that video because there are some tips in there that can help you, generate more activity on your videos, more comments, more likes, more subscribes as well. Most of the people from the early days of YouTube have moved on. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they have. Even, there's a huge shift that can happen in a year, or 6 months. It's a gigantic platform. Nick, do the visitors in the live chat count as views when the video goes into playable mode later? Yes, they do. Yeah, like on mine, basically what happens is after the video plays, then it will go into unlisted, and then I make that video public. And then once I make that video public, then the view count of the amount of people that were in there over the course of the stream, that's what shows up as the view count. Okay, so we got mics out of the way here. Got this. Okay, next up on the list, Razman, are you in the house? Razman, my man, are you in the house? Paging Razman, paging Razman. Nick, can you have too many playlists on your channel homepage? I have 9. No, you're good. I think the actual grid limit, because YouTube actually limits you, I think the grid limit is 10. So I think it's 10. It's either 9 or 10, but I think it's 10. So they're like YouTube will actually limit the amount of playlists that you can have. Okay, yeah, you are in here. Okay, cool. I'm going to look at your channel here in a second. YouTube will limit the amount that you can have on your actual homepage. It's either 9 or 10. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yes, they do put a limit on it. Okay. Did I close that? Hold on. I think I did. Okay, glad you just said that you are in here so that I can go back up real quick and pull it. Yeah, with the live stream stuff, I mean, it's Christopher, like with the live stream stuff, it's not a huge learning curve. Like if you have, I saw that you went live, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Oh, that didn't work. That's interesting. So Razman's reality. There we go. So, like basically you just have to learn the software. Unless you're doing it on your phone, that's the easiest way to do it. And then as far as like all the stats are concerned, you can actually see on your analytics page from the live dashboard, you can see, what's going on with your stream as far as your stats are concerned too, as far as the concurrent viewers and how many messages are coming in and things like that. Unfortunately, they do not count the actual comments that are coming in from the stream. Unfortunately, that would be awesome if they did. Okay, so Razman's reality in the house. All right, guys, Razman's reality. Here we go. I think I pulled you up in the last one too. Same thing down here on the bottom. With that being a little bit difficult to read, it's a little bit better, but that is definitely still a little bit difficult to read. For the sake of the design, I would fill your body out more down here instead of having that hard cut. Right here, you might be seeing that hard cut on yours based on the actual size of your screen. But this is how I'm seeing it. So I would either move yourself down, or I would stretch this image to make it bigger, or drop in a new image to make it bigger on here. What you're doing with your thumbnail here is a gazillion, and sound off in the chat. Let me know what you think as well with his thumbnail update. Like if you compare this thumbnail to this thumbnail, like this one here is a home run. Like I love what you're doing with this thumbnail here. And also keep in mind, like having faces on there is good. So depending on what it is that you are making, right? Like the thumbnail, if you don't have the space for it, I would get people more used to looking for this down here at the bottom. because you're on movie stuff, right? So for what it is that you're making, I would get people more used to looking for this than I would trying to get them to look for this, right? Because this is super identifiable. So I would try to get them looking more for this, because here, your picture, your face and everything is kind of difficult to see. So I would definitely stick with what you're doing down here on the bottom. This large text, yeah, like Darren just said, this large text here is definitely the way to go. Like if you just compare, let me get my highlighter out. I love this highlighter. If you just, whoa, that didn't work. There we go. If you compare these, right? I mean, night and day difference. I mean, this looks a gazillion times better. Just the color in there, because this one's kind of drab looking in comparison. But, all the color in there grabs attention. The big text definitely grabs attention. I mean, you are definitely, what you're doing with your thumbnails here, definitely a win. Okay, let's see here. Had a super chat come in. Malevolent Elephant. That's fun to say. Thank you for the super chat and for me saying that. Malevolent Elephant. Yeah, it's like a good time. Woo! Malevolent Elephant. Okay. Get yourself together, Nick. Get yourself together. Congrats, my brother. I had my best week ever and doubled my subs, and I'm now at 28. Woohoo! That's nice, man. Congratulations on your doubling. That is progress, and that is good progress. Now, if you can keep that pattern up, rocking. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, Andrew. Okay, I want to say, I'm going to show you this real quick in my Twitter here. So, hey, I've been working on my banner and thumbnails. That is cool. I will check you out right here in a second. But yeah, Andrew mentioned here, he's A/B testing the thumbnails, right? Like this versus this to see what gets more attention. And that's one thing I want to point out is inside of TubeBuddy, if you are not using TubeBuddy, you're missing out, because you can A/B test your thumbnails to physically test, right? Don't take my word for it. Look at the actual data on your channel and see what is excuse me. Look at the actual data on your channel based on that and see what works and what doesn't work. Now, here's something that I have worked out that I want you to know. In my video that is coming out Monday, and I waited to say this on purpose because you in this live stream, you guys are more like into your channels than just typical viewers, because you do take the time to hang out in these live streams and learn more from the channel reviews and from the Q&As and stuff. So I'm giving away some Tuber Tool stuff coming up this week. I'm giving away some Tuber Tool stuff. I'm giving away some TubeBuddy licenses. Andrew and Phil over at TubeBuddy have worked it out to where I've got access to some different level of the TubeBuddy accounts. So some are 3 months, some are I think one's a month, some are 3 months, or there's a bunch of free months. There's some 3 month TubeBuddy things I'm going to be giving away, and there's also a year TubeBuddy membership that somebody is going to get as well. In addition to that, like I said, I'm going to be giving away some Tuber Tools memberships as well. All of this is part of my 50,000 subscriber celebration, because again, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have that milestone, and I massively appreciate every single one of you that watch my content, and for those of you that actually are taking your stuff, the information seriously, and you're applying it to your channel. If you're taking your channel seriously or not, if you're actually applying the information, that's even better, because when you're actually taking those steps to try to make things better on anything, on your YouTube channel or what it is you're doing in your life or whatever, it's awesome. So like the giveaway stuff is just my way to contribute back to you guys for being so supportive of what it is that I do here on the channel. Okay, let's see here. I'm a 13-year-old kid. I started 9 months ago, and I'm at 64 subscribers. High five to you, 13-year-old kid. Your videos have helped me a lot. I'm a vlogger. If you would review me, that would be awesome. You know what? I'm going to pull up your channel because you are grinding it out at 13 years old, and I respect that. Let's see here. Okay, first on the list here, I'm going back to Fit for a Better Ride. Okay, Fit for a Better Ride, you did update your header. Fitness for horse riders. Fit for... Whoa! Hold on, I just had like my ears blown out. Okay, Fit for a Better Ride. Fitness for horse riders. Fit for a Better Ride. Okay, how you updated that is excellent. Please subscribe below. That is cool. The only thing that I would recommend is that if you're going to have that, is that I would put a text link here. But this does the trick. So worst case scenario, keep this as well because you're clearly trying to drive traffic to your website. So if you're trying to drive traffic to your website, which it looks like you are, then I would actually kind of cater this more towards driving people to the website than I would to actually subscribe to the channel. But, leave this here. If you are trying to get the subscribers because you're still leading the eye down, but it just gets stopped here. This is kind of like a little roadblock on the way to the subscribe button. If this button, was red, if I wasn't already subscribed, then it would definitely grab more attention. But again, I'm just following the text down, following the arrow, and then I get stopped here for the actual subscribe. Yeah, what you're doing with your thumbnails here, yeah, definitely good. Keep in mind with the text that you use on your thumbnails, you want it to be, you don't want to you want to make sure not to clutter up what it is that you're doing, right? So, like here, how you have better balance in the saddle, I would just take that out completely and try to use your imagery a little bit better. Conditioning workout, that's easy to read, so I think you're okay there. But again, it's important that you don't overwhelm people with what it is on your thumbnails, right? Like how you're doing this is good. I also like how you're breaking these down too, into the different things. But I do think that I think the change is positive, but I still think that work needs to be done in your thumbnails because it is cluttered when I look at this. It's definitely, kind of it's kind of overkill. It just looks cluttered. So I would definitely try to streamline this just a tad. But yeah, like your header, nailed it. You've got it worked out on your header. So what you're doing there is definitely good. You might even want to try, just as a little side thing here, again, because the whole imagery thing, right, with the imagery for the niche, because you have the exercise stuff on here, you got the horse stuff on here, this would also be a decent place to put like a picture of a horse or something like that. But this is fine. I'm just kind of, going into overkill mode right here. But what you're doing here is fine. But because everything is focused here on the middle, which is good. So keep your header. How you have your header is fine. Keep that. But I would definitely work on your thumbnails just a tad. You're almost there, but I would definitely work on your thumbnails just a tad. Okay. So, next up on the list, we are going to go to JFIG Vlogs. I'm a vlogger, bro. Okay. So here on yours, it's good that you have your imagery in there to kind of build your personal brand. That's good. You have JFIG Vlogs, which is cool because it basically says that you are a vlog channel, so you're definitely on the right path there. This is hard to read. The I'm a vlogger, bro, which I'm guessing that might be your, like your catchphrase or something like that. So overall, this is okay. One thing that I would do personally, like if you were a client of mine as an example, I would recommend that you would put other imagery back here in relation to your vlogs to where it shows the type of things that you're doing in your life that you're sharing. That's one thing that I would recommend, but I would still leave this on here because it looks cool. Still put your text, inside of this. Keep in mind another thing too is on phones, this is going to be really small, so you might even want to make this a little bit bigger. But overall, this is fine. I'm just saying, some additional tips that I would recommend to you, like if we were working together or something like that. Yeah, same thing to you on the thumbnails. You know, that same idea applies, you know, all the way across the board as far as, you know, making your content easily recognizable as your content. With your titles, you're trying to hop on trends, which is cool, but like the floor is lava. I don't know if that's still like a hot thing that's going on right now. No pun intended. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. But I don't know if that's a hot thing that's still happening right now. But I would definitely make sure that if you are going for titles like this, because like, how can I say this? Okay, if this was a bigger channel, right? Like It Tried to Kill Me might be an okay title, and the reason for that is because when it gets pushed out to a lot of people because it's a bigger channel, then that gives the video a chance to catch momentum, right? But as a smaller channel, you start out gaining your momentum through search, so it's more helpful for you to make content that you can build search terms around. If you're hopping on trends, the floor is lava. It's a trend. You're hopping on that. That's fine. But for the other topics that you make, try to make some that can help, or that can get you ranked in search as well. Because by doing that, what you're doing is you're creating content that can constantly drive views over time. And with content that's constantly driving views, then that helps give your channel a push, if that makes any sense. So those are my big recommendations for you. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. I'm going to hop in the chat here for a second. I want to leave everybody stranded in chat. All right, let's see here. Let's go in the chat, see what's going on, see who's in here, see what is going on. LYD, what is going on? Nice to see you. Legion of Weirdos, maybe a saloon font. Yeah, that would be clever indeed. Hey, Nook, could I have some tips on how to grow my Fringe channel? He would appreciate it. Not sure what your Fringe channel is. The tips for your friend would be more, you know, you're a meditation channel. I'm into meditation. So I am your target demographic. So I'm actually going to pop up your channel. Oh, okay, you don't have any content. Scratch that. So yeah, I was gonna pull your channel up, but you don't have any content on there yet, so we'll scratch that. Elise Lee says, Creative Queen, maybe Nick's girlfriend is waiting for him too. She is, actually. Let's see here. Thank you. I'll work on my thumbnails more. No sweat. Yeah, it's just the thing you want to keep in mind, Fit for a Better Ride, the thing you want to keep in mind is that, like, a good rule of thumb, when, pun intended, I'm all about puns in the last couple of minutes here. The thing that you want to keep in mind with thumbnails is that, and this is also very important depending on the type of content that you're making as well. When people are on YouTube, in addition to all of the people that you're competing against, you're also competing with brains that are tired. You're competing with people that have worked all day, and depending on the demographic that you're going after. You're competing with people that have worked all day, and they come home, their brain isn't as sharp as it was in the morning when they were at work or whatever, and so when they're skimming around, they're kind of skimming around, kind of zoned out a little bit. We've all been there. You know, I'm there right now, actually, just kind of, trying to push through, right? But, like they're browsing through and they're a little bit zoned out. It's been a long day, whatever. And when they see your thumbnails, you want it to be super easy to understand. You want the text that's on your thumbnails to be in a font that's extremely easy to read. You want the text on your thumbnails to be nice and bold and big. Basically, you want to take the thinking part out of your thumbnails. You just want it to be representative of your content. You want it to basically tell an additional story, or the story of your thumbnails or of your content. And you want them to be easy to consume, right? It doesn't matter if they're tired. It doesn't matter if they're under the influence of something. Maybe they are recovering from an injury and they're on pain medication or something like that. Maybe they just woke up and they're tired. Maybe they went out to dinner with friends and they had, one more margarita than they had planned on, and because of that, they're not their perception or their the way they're viewing things isn't with a fresh brain. Like you want to make all of your stuff, I don't want to say dummy proof, but essentially you do want it to be brain that isn't focused proof. We'll just do it that way. The okayest Taylor says, Nick, since I began using TubeBuddy, the tips have helped me gain over 2,000 subs in 1 month. Thanks for all your help, and congrats, man, on 50K. High five, fist bump. Congratulations to you on the extra growth. That is awesome to hear. Yeah, TubeBuddy is an amazing, amazing tool. Let's see here. Don't you ever get tired of streaming? Says Strong Adele. You know what? I get physically tired, and mentally, like right now, I'm crushed. Like, just being honest, right? Like I'm crushed right now mentally. Like I've been streaming for 3 hours. This might actually be the longest stream ever, but I've been streaming for 3 hours and 40 minutes, and mentally, right now, I am crushed. In addition to that, I got up really early this morning, and it's 12:16 a.m. where I am right now. So, yes, I get tired, but I love streaming, and I love, like I do this once a week, right? So for me, I try to add as much, information as I possibly can because it only happens once a week. And there's a lot of people that hang out in the streams for a long portion of the stream. And because of that, I try to get to, as many channels as I can. I try to, I try to basically just give as much as I can while I'm in here, in the streams. And yet that can get tiring because basically you're having to go through and you're having to, think it all through and all of that stuff. And the fun thing with live streaming is you have to make sure that you're looking at this, you're looking at the screen, and then you're trying to look for things in the channel, but then you're having to make sure that you talk so that it's just not dead air, so to speak, while you're sitting there looking at the channel. And you have to try to keep everything going. Plus you're looking at the chat, trying to, make sure you're staying aware of what's going on in the chat. So, it's fun though. I enjoy these streams for the sake of these connections, or for the sake of the connection. Yeah, my girlfriend just walked in. She's like eyeballing me as well, trying to get me to wrap up here also. So I'm going to do just a couple more. Just a couple more, and then we're done. Okay, so let's see here. Can I have tips on my tech channel? So I'm going to go back into Twitter here, and I'm going to grab just a couple of more here. Okay, Darren, I've got you. Okay, Darren from the Explore list from Twitter here. He just had a quick question on the thumbnails. And the specific question is, would love your thoughts on the new style of thumbnail. Added text stands out. Absolutely, the added text stands out. And I love how you have the scenery back there as well. One thing that you might want to keep in mind too, like I do like how you're formatting your thumbnails with the text in the middle like that. Like in this situation, it works great. Here with the airport, it does too. But like here, it might be better served if you have your text up here in the top, because then it would show more of the actual countryside, and then with the sky, it's not covering up much. You know what I mean? So it's like, wow, that looks like a pretty place. I want to click on it. But what you're doing here is fine. I think that I don't think that it's required. I don't think that it's even necessary that you move it up here to the sky. What I'm saying, especially if you're going for the look with it all being in the middle like that. But what I'm trying to say is that I would, it would just show more of what's going on here in the background. But besides that, man, like what you're doing with your thumbs, I have your face on there, to make everything easily identifiable and all that. We've talked about that previously. So that, what you're doing there is great. But yeah, I personally love that you're adding text to these now instead of just having them blank like this. And the reason for that is for people like me who are visual browsers that basically, go into YouTube, and like when even on my phone, right? Like if I'm on YouTube on my phone and I'm looking through YouTube, right? Like right now I'm going to open up my phone. I'm going to look through YouTube, check out what comes up to me in my feed here on my homepage feed, and scrolling through, like I don't even see. I mean, I see it, but in my peripheral vision I see it. But like as a visual person, right? Because like that's why I do videos. That's why I do graphics and that kind of stuff, right? Like because I'm a visual person, and because of that, when I'm on YouTube, I'm browsing visually. Titles are super important. Don't get me wrong. Titles, what you say in your titles, how you format your titles, and all that, also super important. But for me personally, that's why I make such a big deal about the channel art, about the thumbnails, about making things easy to understand in your art, because I'm a visual browser. So when I'm scrolling through the feed, like there's some stuff here scrolling right past. Other stuff, like I'll tell you, I'm actually going to break this down and I'll show you on the screen, right? So this is what I was talking about before. Like, okay, the Materialismo, right? Huge channel. But when I see their thumbnail here, that thumbnail, me personally, I would never click on that ever. In a million years, I would not click on that thumbnail. There's like, they're doing something there after I stare at it and I try to figure out what's going on. They're doing something about, negative something about Facebook. I see it in the title there, every Facebook video ever, right? So there, in that case, like I see what they're doing, but I would never click on that. Chris, Legion of Weirdos, right here. See how he has the Legion of Weirdos thing down there in the bottom? I would absolutely click on that because I'm into his stuff, right? And he's made it easy for me to identify. One, I see his face. I know that that's Christopher. And two, I see that it's the Legion of Weirdos channel without even having to think about it, right? Super easy to understand. I would click on that all day long, and I do click on his thumbnails. Evan Carmichael, right here. I would totally click on that. Right? Clearly tells me what's going on. Totally click on that. See what else we got here. Just going to scroll through here and grab some random ones here. Okay, this from Transport Evolved, right? It's an electric car channel. I would not click on that ever. I would never click on that thumbnail for any reason, right? And I would blow right over that because I wouldn't look at the title. So for that thumbnail, the only reason that's showing up on my channel page or on my feed is because that channel was actually recommended to me, but I would never click on that thumbnail. So I'm just kind of showing some examples here, and one of yours might be coming up here too. Let's see here. Okay, this Brian Dean, Backlinko. I would click on that all day long. It looks great. It looks professional, right? If I watch his content, I recognize him, right? How to rank #1 on YouTube fast, right? Totally got it. It basically, he has the text in there telling me what the video is about. Fantastic. And it's branded so that just in case I don't recognize him, maybe I recognize his website because he has a popular website. So I would definitely click on that. What else? Yeah, well, I'll leave that alone because I don't want to beat on that dead horse all day. But basically, that's kind of what I'm getting at, as far as being a visual user and why all of this stuff is so important. And again, like all of this stuff falls on how seriously you're taking your stuff. If you're serious about doing all of the things that you can to give yourself an advantage, right? Because in most cases you're not going to make one change that's going to be like, oh, okay, well now I've got now I'm getting like 800,000 subscribers a day. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to happen. But what does happen is you give yourself the advantage to increase or lift up everything it is that you're doing over the course of time, over the course of your video library. And in some cases, in a lot of cases, there are small things that you can do that can make a really big difference in the growth of your channel. But in other cases, it just might need to be that you fine-tune everything just a little bit so that you can just increase the rate that you're growing. Instead of growing at this rate, you're growing more at this rate instead. You know what I mean? And all of these little details, they add up to a bigger picture, especially as your video library increases. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I want to thank everybody that is in the chat right now for hanging out during the live stream. I want to thank everybody that's been in here in the live stream. Anybody that watches this on the replay, again, crossing the 50,000 subscriber mark, it's awesome. And there's some people that have popped in this stream that have way more than that. And there's some people in this stream that are just starting out. Wherever you are in the journey, whatever it is, whatever goals that you're trying to accomplish with your channel, wherever you are in the journey, I hope that you reach those goals, and I hope that that it works out for you as well. For me personally, all of this is going, it's going great, and it's because of you, and I thank you all for that. Because when my videos go out and you click on them, you come in and you watch the videos, you interact like you're doing right now in the live stream. That's sending positive signals for me as well, because I'm making content that you want to watch to try to help you as well. So, again, thank you so much for hanging out in the live stream. Thanks for just being a part of the channel. Thanks for being a part of the community as a whole. I appreciate every single one of you. And if I didn't get to your channel in this live stream, hopefully I can get to it in the next one. If I didn't reply to a question or a comment or something like that, sometimes, you can watch the chat. It goes fast. You know what I mean? So, so I try to answer as many questions as I can and make as many comments as I respond to as many comments as I possibly can. So if I didn't get to you for some reason, or I didn't see it, I apologize. Hopefully I'll catch you either in a comment on a video or in another live stream or something like that, to where we can interact there. If you're not following me on Twitter, make sure that you follow me on Twitter or anywhere on the internet. I'm mainly on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. At Nick Nimmin is where you'll find me on those places. On Twitter, it's more of, just kind of retweeting stuff that I think you might be interested in. On Instagram, I also put some stuff from my personal life in there, as well as other YouTube-related things as well. And on YouTube, you already know what I'm doing on YouTube. And besides that, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. And I will see you next time. Before you know it, making videos is just going to be something that you do. I just recently crossed the 10,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. Thank you to the first 20,000 people that have subscribed to my channel. You just watched this channel cross over 30,000 YouTube subscribers. Thanks for all the kind words. There's a lot of people in the chat saying, congratulations on the 40,000. If making videos is something that you really want to do, the fun that you're going to have sharing yourself and your knowledge with the world is going to far outweigh the worries that you're having now. Before you know it, making videos is just going to be something that you do. I just recently crossed the 10,000 subscriber mark here on YouTube. Thank you to the first 20,000 people that have subscribed to my channel. You just watched this channel cross over 30,000 YouTube subscribers. Thanks for all the kind words. There's a lot of people in the chat saying, congratulations on the 40,000.